to the very first episode of Constructive Outrage of 2025. Yo, I'm excited because we have to pop off the right way. I was like, we got to do this right. And what better way to kick it off with our guests? But hold up for that, because we got Critical Mass in the mother freaking house. Happy New Year's, my brother. Oh, look at that fist bump. Oh, all right. And the bow. We got AK in the mother freaking house tonight. Look at that. Ooh, deuces. C.O.c represent. And we got mother freaking Dark Rashid in the house tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
President Team.
We got Dion himself in the house. What's up? But ladies and gentlemen, we have a collecting legend who has been serving the community for over 10 years joining us tonight. He helped create, I didn't say stop clapping. Yeah, he helped create some of the watch reviews and unboxings in the game. Always ready to speak from his chest when he comes to speaking his mind. You know what I mean? Because some people, an avid collector of Spider-Man, Wolverine, Silver Surfer, and now I'm hearing Hulk. A man that is uniquely qualified to talk about both collecting from our perspective and the company perspective because of the likes of XM Studios. Now, please give a warm welcome to one half of the legendary RaddTitan, Alex Thompson, joining us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Alex Thompson. Thompson, yeah. The classic yo.
How do I live up to that intro? Wow.
That's a beautiful sight. All those Bowen boxes.
Look at the Bowen boxes.
It warms my heart so much.
Oh my God. This is how I was like, man, I know we was going to do something. All right, see how. Go. All right, cool. I know we was going to do something in 2024, and we were close, and it was always something whether my guys weren't able to make it or the time switched. But I was like, what better way to speak with Alex and one day Gio too. Shout out to Gio. Alex, then our very first episode. So appreciate you helping make this happen. It's an honor to have you here. So what's been up, man?
Oh, where do I start? So
you've been moving?
Moved house, and I think just after you were on our chat, I moved like the week after that or so. So I've got a new place now, and just got rid of my girlfriend's parents. They stayed over Christmas, so now I can start working on my collection room. They were staying in there. I'm going to start painting it in the next couple of weeks, and then I'm going to get all the module cases ordered and then start getting all set up. I can't wait. Everything's been in the boxes for like the last 4 or 5 years. So
4 or 5 years, I'll be going crazy, dude.
That's why I started buying all these little bow and busts, because I had all these cabinets left over from my old place before, and I had they were full of DVDs, Blu-rays, and books and whatever. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get rid of all of those films. I've got more digital, and I'm just basically going to put up these little Bowen things, and then I started collecting them more. And then now, this guy turned up yesterday, which is.
Dude, the legendary beast himself, yo. Look at that thing in the background.
He's really impressive. Really
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a big
I think
boy.
that was a lot of people's statue of the year 2023. A lot of people.
I mean, I think we did it as the third scale statue of the year and potentially the showpiece of the year, but I don't know if that went to Maestro. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think it went to Maestro.
Oh, did it? Yeah. But it's a really, really impressive piece. The only critique I do have, which I mentioned on the chat yesterday, was that when you get the two bases, they have like a weird, like big key on there.
Yeah.
And it would be good if that key wasn't there, so you could kind of, if you got bored, you can flip it. So you have like the evolution on the front, and you have the villains on the back. You should be able to flip it so you can display the villains on the front if you want like a variation. And that would have been a really easy thing to not do. So they should have left that off really. But it's an impressive piece, and my son, he's absolutely loving it. He's only 10 months and he's laughing. It was literally loads of fun. I was holding him yesterday, I put his hand out to touch it. He's kind of,
Oh man.
kind of going forward, going back, and then he touched his lip, and I kind of like, rah, and he kind of jumped.
And he jumped.
And then he started laughing. But it was quite cute actually.
Oh,
A lot of
man.
people were saying, "Oh, your son's going to be terrified of it. He's going to start crying." And this, nah, he was total opposite.
Try raising kids in front of Batman Who Laughs from Prime One. That's the one
Yeah,
that
that
scares
was
me.
that's not kid friendly at all.
No, like my kids are older right now, so like, but I could imagine like we got I don't you probably know Terry from Gotham Cinebites. Like his room is like Hellraiser and all of the Dark Knight Metal series and stuff like that. So, but his kid looks like the sweetest kid. Like it's just like he likes Spider-Man and all of this stuff. But
That's how serial killers are born. Yeah.
They all start out sweet.
Until he starts having visions of Pinhead.
That's how they lure their victims. You don't want them being mean looking.
But let's say what's up to the people, and then we'll start our conversation. But we want to show love to the homies. Yo, Theodore, right up the jump, saying how big's your? Sometimes you gotta read them before you say it.
Yeah, my brain does my voice is quicker than my brain normally. So yeah.
All right, let's get some music going before we even start. All right. Think I would have this ready to go by now, but I'm getting back in the swing of things. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 85. This is 85, right? Yep, this is 85. And we got Theodore saying, how big is your fellas? How big is your C.O.c? We pretty big up in here. We big up in here right now. You see that. You see that. We got Random Korean. You hit that random button, you never know what Korean is going to pop out. But we got the best one here tonight. We got Mitchell Lawrence in the house, a.k.a. the Dune Spicer. He be spicing. You can see from his image. We got Dion doing double duty, saying, "Good day, mates." He put the slang on. Mr. Kennedy doing double duty. We got the main man. Holla back, my Poly Peoples. That's what's up. Poly Peoples represent. D Flex 1. It's in the game. I gotta stop flexing with my noodle ass arms. I want to be able to do this and be meaningful, right?
Man, you don't need muscles. Dad bods are in, so don't worry.
Dad bods are in right now.
Dad bods are in.
I can't tell that to Beast 51, yo. My time is short. The time we get to Statue Con again, son. I gotta be in shape. I gotta be ripped. Hold Valdez is in the house saying, "What's good, all? What's good?" Hold. Critical Mass doing double duty. That's what's up. Speaking of Beast 51, we got Beast 51 saying, "What up, everyone? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you, Beast, and Happy New Year." We also got the sweet Danny Lee in the house tonight. What up, C.O.c. boys? I think we got to say C.O.c. until like 1 minute in, and then we can say cut.
Well, I don't know. We've been doing this for a long time and we never get monetized. So,
Never, right? We got Random Korean up again. Oh, who you giving that $1 to, homie?
Jojo said he won. He was mentioning the statues I was selling. I told him if he got $1, he could have it.
There you go, dude. He's got a long way before he earned his first $1, though, son. Long way. We got Mitchell Lawrence again. Ho again. Let's see. We got Dennis Perez in the motherfreaking house. Happy New Year's, Dennis Perez. Yo, his collection just I don't know where he gets the room, dude, but his stuff is just like boop, 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 boop. And yo,
Sam,
Crip, I got this one in too. Right.
Sam, he lives in Puerto Rico. He has a big plot of land. All he has to do is build a new extension. Come on, man.
That's what's up.
That's how Puerto Ricans work, baby.
San Juan or Utawala?
No.
Where you from?
He's I would say he's like an hour out because I think he's close to Edwin. Edwin told me they're close to each other. So
that's what's up, yo. Dennis and we got to get Dennis on. Edwin.
Listen, I might have to go to Puerto Rico and do the live feed over there.
There you go.
Do a live from Puerto Rico.
We're flying you out to Puerto Rico to freaking hang out with
home.
Dennis Perez and Edwin Diaz. That's what's up. 2025, big things. We traveling. We got Carmack O'Leary in the house tonight saying, what up, lads, to the homies. We got Lucky Lex in the house tonight. Thank you for joining us, saying greetings to all and shout out to the triple OG collectors on the panel. That's what up, yo. Alex, legend, with us tonight. We got the evilest of Joels, not just regular Joel. So the evilest of Joels joining us tonight. We got Battle Cat 78. What up, gents? Saying what up to the peoples. We got Venom Tech. Venom Tech, you got a shirt. I got a shirt for Jesse Hernandez that I had for a while that I just remembered. I'm going to send that out to you guys. Venom, hit me up with your address, and then I'll do them at the same time. Boom. Then it'll be done. We also got Vibranium Jim in the mother freaking house tonight. What up, Vibranium? Thank you for joining us tonight. And there we go. Now we're going to start this show. The topic for today is expectations for 2025 or 2025 expectations. Because, you know, a lot happened in 2024. Let me load this down, though. Let me load this down so y'all can hear us clearly. Yo. There we go. A lot has happened. We have companies that were, you know, sort of like trying to find a place, mid-tier, whatever, you know, just going up. We had companies that were considered the freaking, what is the word I would one of the ones that the pinnacle. That's the word I was thinking. Pinnacle, who just fell from grace like in a tragic fashion. We had some people just being like, this is where we are. We ain't doing nothing different. We stay in the course.
It ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep. We're
going to work it out.
That weren't communicating, that are communicating heavily. But yeah, so we should start with companies. What are your guys' expectations for whatever company you guys want to talk about? And we can start with, we start with our guests. We'll start with Alex. Pick a company and what would you like to see from them? But what are your expectations? Because that might be two different things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can play it safe here, and you know, I think with 2024, and we spoke about this sort of yesterday on our show, which is like Sideshow did amazing. And literally, when we do our awards, a request for companies to send out their lists to us, they send them to us, and most companies had a very slow 2024. They didn't deliver any products, and it's noticeable. When you're trying to pull up the awards, it was really difficult to fill some of the categories. We had to combine them. But Sideshow's list was really, really impressive. I mean, you got two fantastic, the other side, Critical Mass got two fantastic pieces behind him there.
Right there, yeah.
And the other one in that line, so the Mr. Sin actually won one of our awards. And Batgirl. So, yeah, I mean, Sideshow took the whole court scale female and court scale male awards from us.
Both awards yesterday,
and then, like, you know, obviously then got other companies like, you know, XM Studios who have gone to shit. They've not delivered anything really. Their communication has been piss poor. They've literally been advised to come out and talk about certain things and not done it. They did put out a message at the end of the year and then used ChatGPT to do that, which totally fucked them in the ass because they used ChatGPT, which then they've gone, we need an email for, we're going to be closed on New Year's Day or whichever day it was, and we're going to be delivering XYZ products. ChatGPT comes in and goes, hey, here's your message. And by the way, this is your subject header, which is office closure or company closure and future releases or whatever it was. So literally, like, a lot of people who have been hearing all the rumors lately thinking XM are closing down. So, it was just, they need to do more work. They need to work on their PR. They need to work on their communication. I have heard that they've had a very big cash injection that will be filling some of the holes. and they've also, like, the Marvel license is safe, the DC license is safe, and a lot of the stuff they will be delivering over 2025, and they're not going to be doing any new pre-orders for the time being until they deliver on these pieces and can regain the confidence. I hope they stick to that, and I hope they do that, and I hope they regain that confidence from their customers, because I think XM Studios were a very good company to have in the industry. It made it kind of like, you know, there was a few years ago where Sideshow was putting out a load of shit, and they weren't putting out good pieces. They had like literally 1 or 2 good pieces, and the rest was really, really average.
Yeah, that's when I first came into the game, and that's sort of why I went towards XM at that time. It's because I don't follow company banners, I follow product, like the stuff that I like, and so I'm always going to gravitate to who's putting out stuff that appeals to me. And then you see Sideshow do their thing, and XM, you're like, oh, waiting to see XM. They show something, you might not like the concept. They say it's okay. Oh, you like this, but then you pre-order it and you don't get it. Like, I'm still waiting for Galvatron, for example. So it's sort of like, it's just been like a reverse of like, we say we're doing something, we put it out, and everything's subjective of if you like the piece or not. But the fact that there's pieces that are being
absolutely
made,
hate XM style, and they won't go near them.
Exactly. But go ahead.
But I mean, like, you know, I really hope they do deliver, and I hope they turn this shit around. I think that they've had a few things along the time that have sort of, you know, they haven't recovered from totally. When Brian Tan left, that really left a gap that needed filling that they still haven't filled. You know, I was there for a little while, and they do have another guy who's there that they just don't listen to, and it's really, really frustrating to be in that position of you're making suggestions and you're even like it would be down to they would send out the latest unboxing video, and me and this other guy would look at it and go, we're both collectors, so we would go, okay, at 37 seconds or whatever it was, 1 minute 37 seconds, they take out the body and they put it on the base. When they put it on the base, it's really, really shaky. We wouldn't show that part because of people are just going to complain and say it's not balanced properly or whatever. At X point, you see this seam of whatever, you know, I'll take that out. And then they would just go, well, it's too late now, it's been edited. They post it the next day, and then literally everything that the two of us had said would be, we could literally have it as a bingo card, and we would go like, yep, full house, you know. And it was just so frustrating. And even with the communications, it would be me and him would read it and say, as collectors, we don't really think you should say that in that way. We would say it this way, this way, this way. And it's also because they're from an Asian background and we're more European side, so you have the different way of reading it anyway. And they would be like, oh, no, it's fine. Again, post it, and we would literally, again, bingo. Like, go through all the shit that we've said and take it off, and it'd be like, I had to leave. I had to go in the end. But I'm still very good friends with the guys there, still on good terms. And again, I really hope that they listen to the community. I hope they listen to the people around them who are trying to guide them in the right direction. And I think that, again, if they are, for any reason, if they fuck up and they're out of this industry, I think it will be a real shame. I think it will be a really, really big shame.
I don't think any collector who owns an XM piece would want that. But I guess the question is, are they the same company, though? Let's say they get this cash influx, like, boom, get all of the cash or whatever.
Yeah.
Are the same people there, or the right people there to manage that money, get the concept, get the talent that was doing it? Because it seems like you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't know how to manage, or the vision starts at the top. If you don't know, like, I don't know, you probably know more than any of us here, of like, do they have that team intact, or is that something they got to work on getting? Because their last couple of things weren't banging or weren't hitting like they were.
Well, that's another thing as well, is if you look at Supercraft Labs, the art director there was Martin. Martin left XM, And he, when you look back over the pieces he worked on all the really impressive pieces. He was the art director for them. When he left, again, that was another big position that they maybe gave it to someone who was a little too junior to take on that role. They tried to give him the opportunity. When they've gone back over the kind of like the timeline of the projects which were here and there and whatever else, because there are some projects which take a real long time to come out. I mean, when we were talking about Daniel Bell beforehand, and Daniel Bell did a lot of work with XM before Sideshow. And also
had
did
his
a lot of
Iron
customs.
Fist.
Yeah. So he did Iron Fist. He did Black Panther. He did Electro. I think he did something else as well. But then also he did their Deadpool, which is a pretty shitty piece, to be honest with you. But but he did that. That was his last piece for XM, and I'm trying to remember my point now.
You talk about the talent they had.
Oh yeah. So I'm just saying that some of the pieces can take a long time. So yeah, that piece with Daniel Bell came out not that long ago, and he'd already left like 3 years before or whatever it was. And so now they've worked out which pieces were involved with this person and that person, and they've looked at it and they've gone, okay, and that person's now left. So they've now got new art direction as well. I've seen some of their new projects. I've seen some renders for their new projects, and there is some real promising things coming. Again, it's if they deliver on it, it's a whole if. And again, I totally understand and I totally agree with you about the money side of things, because there is a whole concern regarding that. There was a big concern regarding when the money came in, that it was kind of wasted on the gallery. It was wasted on like a shop they had there and whatever else. The actual when I was there, they gave me a whole presentation about the spendings and how much it would cost to rent a space and how much they've spent on the gallery and how much over 3 years of all this business. And from their numbers that they were showing, that they've now paid off and they're kind of, balanced on the amount they've spent on the gallery, allegedly. There was the gelato place that closed down like 2 years ago. There's now, I think, a sushi place that they went out to. So that's nothing to do with them now anyway. There was a clothes shop there, which I think that's closed as well. So
clothes shop?
Yeah, like a designer clothes shop they had on their premises. And the back of the clothes shop, it was all these like really expensive shirts, bags, trainers, sneakers, sorry. And
XM sneakers, yeah?
No, they weren't XM. They were all like these brands. And then at the back of that, they had all these whiskeys, like expensive whiskeys and things.
Oh,
so they were getting
that's where all their money went.
Well, yeah, but they're trying to branch out, and obviously then COVID happened, which kind of fucked them big time. They weren't prepared for that. One of the things which screwed them a little bit as well was when they were trying to get involved into the whiskey. I think there were rumors about it as well, where they were trying to do a Bruce Wayne whiskey, and it was meant
Bruce
to be
Wayne
like,
whiskey.
Yeah, so it was meant to be like when Batman's finished for the day, he goes home and
Yeah.
And I think that could have been quite successful. I think that would actually have been. It would have had the kind of IP to drag people in, bring people into it.
You could put Batman on anything.
Yeah. And the other side of it is like, when you get real whiskey tasters, they just say that like, they know the process of these branded whiskeys. It's you go to this place, you buy the barrels, you do this, then you basically just got this whiskey in your bottle. And this whiskey, if you want to buy it separately, is half the price, or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
if you buy it with the statue, you could get it for half the price or something like that.
No. I mean, like if you were to buy just the whiskey, you knew what whiskey it was in that barrel, you could just go and buy that whiskey.
Oh, okay. I thought they were tying it into their statues for a minute.
No, rather than buying the branded version. But what happened was then Warner Brothers came back and they're like, oh, we don't really want to associate Batman with alcohol. So what we're going to do is we'll give you the license to do Great Gatsby, I think it was. And it just didn't have that pull, did it? So
no, there's very few, like, Batman is probably one of the safest bets for any type of media. I think that's why a lot of companies place bets. We're going to continue that conversation. I think someone had a question. Crippler, how many XM pieces you have? 1, 2, 3.
Too many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and some. I got over 30 XM pieces. Yeah, like that's I only really show here, but yeah, the X-Men are over there. It's Transformers here and Transformers there. Avengers and like War Tank over there. I still need a Hulkbuster, but that one eluding me. But maybe if they do re-releases. I'm just kidding.
Don't even put that out there.
Dark Phoenix re-release.
Yeah. We're gonna get into that, but Dion, you are another one who own a lot of XM pieces, and while we might as well stay on XM and then move to a different company when we go to Critical and AK. So what are your expectations for them for XM Studios in 2025, and what you actually think would happen with XM in 2025?
So I own I think 49 XM pieces.
Yeah, he's in the. I gotta catch up.
I'm about to go down a little bit because I'm gonna start selling some. But
it could go about 5.
Huh?
Like King Lord David.
About 5.
You got about 5. You got way more than 5, don't you?
Nah, I sold a lot of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But so I feel like right now the headspace that I'm in when it comes to XM is I have no expectations for them because I don't think
that's the worst place to be. Like when you
I'm talking about for a studio, right?
Yeah, no, for the studio. Like when you have when people just start being like, I've moved on and I can't even right? Because you got some pre-orders left. I got some pre-orders left.
No, I don't actually.
You canceled?
So yeah, that was.
Right, I'm sorry, I'm derailing. Talk.
You've been away from social media, but so it was a big thing where I had $10,000 in XM pre-orders, and I was able to get the entire 10,000. It was like 9 and some change to include the NRDs back.
Okay.
Right. So right now I have 0 XM pre-orders.
So shout out to whoever did that, right? I don't know which distributor you went to, but the fact that
we'll talk about it backstage. No, I will say nobody did that willingly. Okay.
Okay. All right. But like I said, I'm not really on the.
But 10,000 is 10,000. Okay. So
you got it back though. All right, continue.
I got it back. Right. So I have no expectations for them, man. I don't think they'll be able to meet any expectations anyways. I truly think that they are pretty much done. Even if they get a new investor, some of the pieces that have been shown a long time ago, I feel like either will never come to fruition or it'll be years before they even be able to catch up and get shit back on track before they'll even be able to release it. So I don't expect anything from them. I don't want anything from them. Even if they were to release those pieces now, I probably would not buy them. The only one I might buy is the Magneto because everybody knows I love Magneto. But anything else, I'm done. I'm washed and clean.
And it's nobody's fault but their own, right? It ain't like they could sit here and blame you're impatient because we've been very patient. I'm surprised. I'm surprised I only have 3, 6, probably probably 9K out, and you had I don't know if you want me to say,
I don't even want to count it, man. As far as how much I spent on XM pieces, it's a lot. It could probably buy a couple cars or something. I don't know.
But but because we're both moving in a very similar direction.
Correct.
And
Which
like,
I was surprised that like me and you are like always in sync with.
Yeah. Even before, even when all I knew you was your icon in the chat, it was very similar taste.
Right. Transformers and all that. But so right now I feel like because all I collect is like X-Men or mostly X-Men. And with XM being done, that was the majority. XM and customs are the majority of my collection. So I'm like, I need to start venturing out, look for something else, maybe mix it up a little bit. So I'm gonna sell some of my Marvel pieces or my X-Men pieces. Sell some of the other pieces that I really don't have connections with the characters. I just thought they were cool at the time.
Yeah.
And
Those
then
are the ones that always go.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I'm gonna move in the direction. Well, I know I'm gonna move in the direction of like video game pieces a little bit.
Yeah.
If there's like an X-Men banger that comes out, I'm not gonna be able to. I'm X-Men at heart, so I'm not gonna be able to turn a blind eye to it. But that's not gonna be my focus anymore.
Yeah.
And I started it with P.O. and the Prime One.
Speak on it.
Cloud and Sephiroth. And I also
so expensive.
It is. And
that's we see where that $10,000 going to.
I know, right? Exactly.
That's $5,000.
And also P.O. The Last of Us. So both of those games I feel like are like some of the best games of all time. So
yeah,
like
they're two of my favorites too, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got the Joel and Ellie.
What's that?
You got the Joel and Ellie. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so it's something that's weird, right? So you see that little plastic thing?
Yeah, right. That's what we were gonna get into that later, but this is concerning me, bro. Like
So I hit up Prime One and I have not gotten a response.
What was your question?
Those acrylic risers that's holding up the sword.
They're in the list of what you get.
I know.
That's right. What if I don't use it? Is it going to lean?
You can take them away, but they give you the option to use them. So that then, if it does lean over time, you're going to get the blame for not using them because they've obviously had problems before with their Batman Hush, I think it was. They had to add the pillar. So these ones, they add those with them. So that if you don't use them, you're going to get them.
I think that's a huge design flaw too. I like that because it's like admitting that if you don't use these, there's a potential problem there versus solving the problem with engineering and long ass freaking rails that go through the whole body. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if it's a deal breaker.
Do you know, Alex? I don't know. Are the swords metal?
I don't know. I don't think it says that. Yeah.
They probably bought
that heavy. They gotta be metal, right? I mean, you would think. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think they would be metal though, because if you look at the size of the Buster sword, that's going to basically be a knife, and in a lot of countries that would really not against.
Shout out to
So I mean, like in UK, you can't have a knife like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I got Malaysia such a. I think this will bother me, man. Like, especially for that price, and you're getting stuff that comes with associate with like those Kai, because I have Kai Final Fantasy, and I got my Barrett. I put him in a box because he always falls down because he can't stand up. That fucking thing, dude. That's why I was so happy when I got into statues, because then I didn't have to worry.
Figures come with their own stands?
Yeah, they come with the same acrylic things, but for their bodies. Yeah.
The thing about this Cloud, I mean, I mean, it's a nice statue, and it's something that is missing in the licensed world. But for $2,400 or $2,300 for him alone, it was like that's like, if you're generous, that's $1,000 statue. If you're like really generous and you know Prime One take the piss, you're like, okay, that's a $1,250 statue. To charge that much and go, and everyone's just going to go, well, this Square Enix's licensing costs and blah blah blah. And then also the weird thing about it as well was then when you get the bundle was more expensive than the two individual statues.
Then if you buy them individually,
it came with an extra sword,
and it wasn't clear. But it wasn't clear when you actually looked into why it was more expensive. And literally, it's not. I don't think it was listed, but you had to go into the images. And then you find it's got that purple crystal sword and whatever.
The purple one, yeah. What's the name of that sword? I know the name of that sword. I beat the mess out that game, and I'm gonna beat it again on PC.
I know, right?
I have no idea what it's called, but the thing about it as well is most people are just going to
Matsubara. Then you got that. You picked it up in Wutai or something.
No, it was the one that you used for if you was doing a magic build. It was a magic based weapon. And
so I think that sword is pretty cool because like the color kind of like breaks up the the dark.
Yeah, but you're just trying to justify your crappy purchase there.
Yeah. and I'm trying to make sure I don't make
it's well worth
$2,000.
It's well worth $5,000 worth it.
This is why you need. This is why you talk to Alex of RaddTitan because he ain't gonna be there. Be like,
I genuinely think that sword is pretty cool.
Well, I think
if I was saving like 500,
most cases,
I'd have said the hell with that sword.
In most cases, you're going to display the Buster Sword anyway, no?
I'll probably switch it up. If I'm paying that much, I'm gonna switch it up.
Yeah, you better switch it up for that money.
Hey, believe it or not, the Buster Sword wasn't the best sword in the game.
No, it wasn't at all.
But it's the most iconic. It's the most iconic for sure. If you're gonna display it, that's the one that people are gonna recognize.
All you need to show is a Buster Sword, and a lot of people even know what you're talking about.
But yep. I'm looking at this scene right now, and man, oh man, if this was normal prices, this thing, it's already probably gonna sell. I'm surprised it didn't sell out yet.
I'm surprised it hasn't sold out.
I think these are like damn near perfect. I can't like, I'm not happy with that. If I need to, that's like getting a Lamborghini and going to Walmart for your floor mats, bro. Like. I'm not doing
so I don't plan to use the shit, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna let that shit sag.
You're gonna live dangerously.
I'll be like, I'm not putting those things on there, dude.
Or Crip, you use them and then when company come, you hurt and take them off.
No, you know what I do? It's gonna have to be a routine, dude. Like every morning. So like every night before sleep, I go and I put them on there. And then when I wake up in the morning, I take them off until I stop wanting to do that and just leave them.
I agree.
It's been 6 months. It hasn't moved yet. Cool.
Also on the swords as well, you can change all the material. So
that's a beautiful.
You can take them all out.
Beautiful touch.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, the materia,
the materia, You can put you can put utility materia in there, magic materia in there.
Yeah,
materia in your life.
I think that was a real nice touch.
Oh, look at my boy over here, Gamaya JP Crystal Gaming, sword. The Crystal Sword. Yep. You get it from Gungaga, baby, home of Zach.
Get it? He Googled
home of Zach, baby. Put some respect on Zach's name.
He Googled it.
No, I believe him. Shout out to Butterback in the building. Shout out to your vision. CMP joining us tonight. Dante says, if they have one-winged angel Sephiroth, why does Cloud have the OG Buster Sword and not the Avid Children one for the version of the multiple pieces?
I think because that sword is synonymous with Cloud. That's what I mean. If somebody just showed you that sword, you would instantly know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, in order for Cloud to have that 6-piece sword, he would have to wear the outfit from Advent Children so that people would know they're two different swords.
And that Advent Children sword is that shit crazy.
Yeah, the 6 pieces. The 6 pieces he transformed into one.
Yeah, man. The fusion blade. He said, "Don't test me, brother. No one could Google that fast, dude. He's just
I love
playing.
That knowledge, man. I
love it. Yeah. But yeah, no. I think like I said, I'm in a process of Dion hit me up. We're talking about what are we gonna do. It's expensive. For me to get it, I'm going to have to move some stuff because I'm not the type of person that buys statues and put them away. I know some of our brothers do that. I'm just not I gotta have a spot. And since I'm not used to selling, that's gonna be a whole process for me because I hate the process of selling stuff. I haven't sold anything.
When you do
Sam,
sell,
you gotta go.
Go ahead, AK.
No, I was gonna tell Sam he gotta want this life. He can't be a bitch and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna sell my shit." No, you want this life? You better go get it.
Hey, I learned that on the CMP show way back in the days. You gotta want this life.
Yeah, it's not the best time to sell stuff as well, especially if you're trying to sell XM pieces.
I mean, when you
think XM pieces though,
real bad.
Dude, I think holding on to your XM pieces is the smartest thing to do right now. Because
yes and no. I don't think some of them.
Some pieces hold, others don't.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
but
think it's going to hold value.
But you know the ones we're talking about, like those pieces.
Oh yeah, they're gonna go.
I don't think people are. People still chasing that type of quality. You know, I don't think people. And those versions
are the ones
of
that
certain
I never
characters.
sell anyways right now.
And those are the boxes.
Or when other companies come out with them, right? It's a different version of that. You know what I mean? They could come out with, let's say, Storm or whatever. Like pick a Dark Phoenix. You see them like other companies, like Sideshow did their earliest Storm, right? You know what I mean? You'll see them come out. It doesn't mean that it's going to instantly be the one that you.
It may not reach that Grail stat.
Or the suit, or it could be different. It could be numerous things. It could be quality. It could be just the version of the character that they chose to do that is not the one that XM did. Might be the one you like. But I'm not saying that people can't catch up or do it, but I'm just saying that those things I think gonna hold their value like crazy.
Yeah, I think some of the like the bangers that they got, I think the value might actually increase a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But like some of the other ones, you know, where there's a line that they never even finished, like the Fantastic Four line that they started.
Oh yeah, get rid of that thing.
I feel like that's gonna lose value. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't think that thing is hard. I don't think it's hard to do a better thing than that thing. It's a nice thing. I like it a lot, but I don't think that the character in its nature. I don't think it's hard to replicate a really good pose.
It probably was going to be a banger with all of them together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Critical Mass. How are you, my brother?
Doing well.
Pick a company. You can stay on XM. You can pick a different company, but just talk about what are your expectations for companies, and hopefully through this we get to hit the most like the bigger companies. But what is your expectations for them, for like any company, what do you think will happen with whatever company you choose in 2025?
I'll talk about two, but I'll talk about XM just real quick. I just hope they can get their shit together because I got some of their pieces. I love their pieces. And, you know, just hopefully they can work it out and we can get some more good pieces down the road. And that's all I got to say about XM for now. But I'm a push up on Sideshow. And, you know, I've been saying this since we started our show last year. I said Sideshow is killing it lately. You know, they came out with that Nightcrawler. They came out with that Penguin that just banger after banger after banger. Yeah, back when people were still calling
episode 1, I think you had something. You had a segment that we never really got back to that we should have said. I think Rashid said we can't say we shouldn't use killing it. So we never came up with another name. But your very first one was Sideshow was killing it back then, because that was when they were transitioning from like sort of, I would say the community were sort of like all with the XM buzz, you know what I mean? They were all with the XM and the Prime, right? And so it sort of had Sideshow down, but you just slowly see like they were coming out with XM pieces and XM was coming out with X-Men pieces, and then people started being like, I kind of like the Sideshow one better, and then I kind of like this, and then they separated from that. They was like, all right, we could do XM, but then they started doing other shit, and go ahead, this is your moment. But
yeah, and even things like Batgirl here, we were saying that this is like an XM quality stuff, because if you first saw this and you didn't know this was Sideshow, you would think that this was an XM piece.
One of the
most
beautiful portraits
that they stepped their shit up so good, and I think
Sideshow have always been.
He's frozen.
The UK got him.
He'll come back.
The UK bandwidth got him.
XM said, "Don't you talk about Sideshow when it's our time."
That's the EU striking back.
The EU strikes
The
back,
EU
baby.
strikes back. Ah. But
Shout
yeah,
out
just
to
real quick, I'm
Jimmy
excited
from
about.
Godlike.
What up, Jimmy? Doing your thing on Friday nights. Yeah, but I'm just excited about the things that they've already put out, the things that are going to come out in the future. You know, I've seen some things, of course, as I say, I can't talk about it, but there's the reveal that they did just recently with that Archangel, where we got to see the full thing with the bass and all.
There we go.
And just, you know, I'm just really excited about what they're doing. And, you know, I just imagine what's going to come up in the next few years, things that I haven't seen yet. And I got to see some things and I'm like, I can't talk about it.
Yeah.
But,
Alex, you was about to say something, but then the priest police
yeah.
got you.
And you froze.
No, I was for some reason I was downloading something and then the fucking IP vanish thing started doing something weird. Yeah, no, I was just saying that the female pieces of Sideshow have always done the best female pieces.
Harbottle and the boys.
You know, the faces on them have always been, well, obviously there was a stage where they kind of went and did the kind of she-male looking ones for a little bit, but they've always had consistently better females than other companies, and then always XM, they always had something not quite right with a lot of their females. I mean, obviously their Emma Frost is amazing. Some of their other females, I love their black cat on the cat as well. But they got some, but Sideshow always had more. Yeah, like Will Hardbottle and there was another guy who did all the females as well, wasn't it? Oh God, I'm totally blanking out.
I just remember. I remember you and Gio.
Newman.
Yeah, like you used to point out some. Watching your videos back in the day, there was like leaning issues sometimes, or like when you would compare the two class. And so it was sort of like, I think a lot of people forget those times, and like when you're doing so much and a lot of it is quality, all of them aren't gonna hit. You don't make excuses for it.
Yeah.
But what you have to do is their customer service good, and will they take care of it? And if the answer is yes, then return it and be like, because I don't know, man. Like for me, I have to really love a piece, and that's paint apps. Like I know if I like a piece just from the pose. Like if I don't like the pose, the silhouette it cast, no amount of paint is gonna make me like the piece. It's just if I don't like the pose, right? If I don't like what the scene they're trying to tell. I know I don't like it. But if I do like that already, the paint and that's when the paint apps from prototype to ship can have an impact on if I'm actually going to pull the trigger. And that's why I personally don't pre-order shit. I pre-order when that's a lie. I lied. I pre-order, but I don't pre-order like a maniac Dion level of pre-order.
Like me.
Most of the shit I buy, I bought like boop, 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 because it was available already. Or waited.
So if you pre-ordering like an XM, I mean, back when they was good, if you was pre-ordering an XM piece, it's going to come out the way that the prototype looked. If you pre-order like a Prime One piece, it's going to come out looking like the prototype.
And that's when XM
that Griffiths came out fucking horrendously though.
Which one?
The little art piece, do you know the Berserk art pieces where they got the guts? And Guts looks amazing. Griffiths looks fucking horrendous.
Really?
And the thing that Prime One does is they fucked up on the Batman Forever line, or Batman and Robin or whatever it was, and they messed up the they did like a sonar version, and then they did the Robin as well.
It looked like a Bleach version.
Yeah. So they messed up the initial version, and then they re-released them as different things, and it was just like, oh my god! And he even told the people who, I think it was like George Raw, he got it in, and he's like, "What is this?" He's like, "Grey." He's like, "What the fuck?" Looks like
that's why I love art too, like, because the Prime One pieces I own. Some of them are immaculate, like the Batman Who Laughs, immaculate with the stitching and all of that stuff. Is really, really good. But then there's pieces that the paint isn't always 100% with Prime. And when you go to Art's reviews of some of them, he'll tell you, like it just be like, the rocks on Red Death, you know, it looks like Play-Doh, and then you get that shit, and then you can't unsee it because it does look like fucking Play-Doh. But you still gotta, you know what I mean? And so it's sort of like, so they got some hit and miss, but I do think Prime One's usually up here.
Sideshow's paint is the one that is mostly like hit or miss right now. I feel like. And you know, with a lot of their stuff, it doesn't even waitlist until they show like a live, like the box unboxing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then if it hits well on the unboxing, you'll see it usually waitlist not long after that. But I feel like you kind of gotta wait for those because you never know what you're gonna get with the paint.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think with Sideshow in the past, one of the reasons why I didn't really, I was attracted to the paint quality of XM. A lot of people thought they were dull. But me personally, style, everybody have their own. I like to look at pieces, modern pieces, and think that that's how they used to look back in the day. So that's why I like the Transformers, because like I own all of the cartoons, and when I watch them, I'm like, they're cool when I was a kid and wanted toys, but now that I'm a big kid, a giant kid, I would like them to look like they do, and I think they did a perfect job of modernizing them. So I really like that. But by doing that, it was hard for me to get some of the other pieces from other studios because I'm always living like even like when I went to certain cons, and you go and you'll see pieces and you're just sort of like, man, there's something about, like, it ain't just the paint though, because people think it's just the paint. It's the little details and the bolts, like in detail, not like just a texture pass. It's like the design, and like if you look at it, the vents and the gears and all of this stuff individually painted, so it doesn't look like it's just blurred, or like there's real like see-through in some of the chest of Optimus Prime versus just a painted flat thing. Like, it's just little things.
One of the things is you've got like the war tank, and I remember like when War Tank, I don't think it'd been shipped yet, and I'd seen it, and it was like ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And I think what they've done with War Tank is, I think War Tank is actually painted better than the Hulkbuster. I think with the Hulkbuster's a better piece.
Speak on it, Alex.
I'd rather own the Hulkbuster. Yeah. But when you look at them side by side and compared, the asphalt on the War Tank is much better. And then there's just like, as you say, these more details on the War Tank, and because it's like not got that cherry red, they have to work a lot harder, and they put a lot more in there. But then one of the things was when the Justice Buster came out, everyone was saying, "Oh, Prime One has smashed XM. They've done a much better version of this."
You said you hated it though, right?
I saw that the first time recently in Thailand, and I'd seen loads of pictures, and I thought, all right, it doesn't look too bad, but it can't be as good as our War Tank. It just can't be. But if it is, then and I know people who have seen both, and they stood by it. They were like, "This piece is absolutely amazing. Can't wait till you see it. Whatever else." I'm like, okay, I saw it in Thailand, walked over to it. I'm just like, I said to the guy, I said, "Is this a real one?" He goes, yeah, everything in it is real. No recast, nothing. These are all real pieces. And I'm like, this is a piece of shit. This piece is fucking horrendous.
Yo, your vision, your freaking Justice Buster's a piece of shit.
If people think is on the same level as War Tank or Hulkbuster, obviously art is subjective, but
art is subjective.
There's no comparison.
So
your
your big issue, Alex, was the paint.
It just looked like a toy. It didn't look like with the War Tank. It's like there's so much detail. There's so many things going on. There's just everything. And as I say, all the little scuffs on there.
And the fact that it's black, and you had to create black is very hard to do, like in the shading of it, so that it actually still pops and looks inky is crazy.
Well, it's got like the gunmetal, and it's got like the great lights that go up and down the gun, and all these little things. But yeah, I mean, there was just nothing at all. When I looked at that Justice Buster, I'm just like looking at it and I'm like, this is really disappointing. Like really disappointing. And I couldn't. I mean, people are going, oh, why display Batman outside of it? Because the one you saw had him inside, and it's much better when he's standing in front of it. What? Because he covers it up? Or what? Why is it better when he stands in front? So, yeah, I was really disappointed. Like, really. Like, it's probably one of the most disappointing pieces I've seen in a long time.
Gotcha. Your vision, he owns both. He says you have way more color contract. I think he meant contrast on the Justice Buster than the War Tank. Again, I have both. The Justice Buster has 5 to 6 different colors compared to the War Tank. I feel you, my brother. I feel you. Batman fanatic.
Yeah, but it's not just about the different shades. Well, it could have 50 different shades of grey and still be shit. It's I don't know, it's just about the whole thing together. And I mean, he's talking about the paint and stuff, but then what about the quality? Do you think the quality is better on Justice Buster? When you look at them together, do you think they're comparable?
That's a question for your vision. Let us know. But no, it's cool. And like I said, it's an opinion. In my opinion, War Tank. I share your opinion. And I personally haven't seen both of them, so I can't judge.
I haven't seen
the Justice Buster. From what I see, it looks like a good piece. Never seen them in person. Can't compare them. But what I will say is that with the War Tank, even the B with the Rhodey, all that silver, all of that stuff is just so well.
Well, even the one War Tank, it does have like bits of yellow. It has yellow in the road and is yellow like
yellow in the road, but also the
panels
stickers
as well, like the hazard stuff, and the red stickers as well. So it does have other colors in there, yeah.
It has more like the codes for the weapons and all of that good stuff, and it does have the yellow around missiles and all of that stuff. And then it also has the gradient from the rail gun of like how the color comes from the black and then shades down to where it pulses. All of that stuff is. So I'm jealous of the people who can turn theirs to the back too, because your vision can turn his to the back, and then the back of it is just so damn impressive.
Yeah, the back is hot with that spine.
Yeah, that spine and all of that.
That's why you need a mirror, Crippler. You need a mirror to put behind it.
Yeah, but then you can see himself.
A hotel mirror. But that's cool. AK, my brother from another mother, Bronx finest, home of. I was about to say I don't like Fat Joe, but I was about to say home of Fat Joe. I don't like.
Well, you could say home of the 27-time World Series champion New York Yankees.
Woo, woo, woo. Except for the Dodgers now. Y'all let LA. Anyway,
Los Dodgers.
I'm hoping to get some.
We rule.
Expectations for companies. What do you expect to see from the company of your choice? But what do you think might happen with the company of your choice? And also, you can touch on anything we talked about, whether it was Sideshow or XM.
Because I don't have any dealings with XM and shit, so that's not my wheel well.
Oh, I got a message for you first. Fuck the Yankees from JoJo.
Ban him. JoJo, I'm gonna wipe my ass with your shirt now. The TNT shirt's gonna come nice and fresh scented.
Go Dodgers.
My company is not even Prime One. Iron Studios, because you know I'm a big Iron Studios guy.
Show Iron Studios some love.
You know, right now they're killing it. You saw all the new licenses they coming out with.
Yeah, I'm impressed with their X-Men line. I'm impressed with their
bunch of anime.
Cyclops.
Yeah, they're coming out with real fire this year. So,
what would you like to see them produce this year?
I would like to see more video games licenses from them too.
Okay.
Because the
video game people rising up. I think we need to start a movement.
Know, right? Anyone in particular? AK, did you look at fucking cool?
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. Because I mean,
Yo,
Prime One can do it.
I
Imagine getting them scaled down.
Dude, if Iron Studios do, I'll take
a dial. I'll take
a dial, dude.
Don't you dare say you would get Iron Studios over Prime Ones.
Man,
just how they do the X-Men dials. Imagine a dial of all the characters against Sephiroth.
Oh my goodness! Oh, Sephiroth.
That shit'll probably cost an arm and a leg. Like
Yo, if they
13,000,
if they go with the quality they got now, but the designs that they really have a strong understanding for, like what they did with the Sentinels, X-Men Sentinel dioramas, quality of today with a Dio from the final scene of Final Fantasy Rebirth. Woo! It costs a quarter of the price of the other one. I'll be all in. But yeah, no, Iron Studios don't get I don't think, because they play in the little pool, and I mean that as just like the small sizes, not that they're in the little pool.
They still do course count in 1/3.
Like
but I have put some respect on their name because of their Cyclops that they just
man, that Cyclops waitlist is so damn fast.
Really?
Yes, like within a week.
Oh my God, Mitchell, you said the magic word too with the summons. Yo.
Summons.
Damn.
Yo, Iron Studios, listen, you can just stop this Prime One expensive bullshit right now. Even though I love those statues, I really can't say an ill word about them. But if you do dios with summons, give me some Titan, some Leviathan, some Ifrit.
The Knights of the Round Table.
Yo,
the title of the Knights of the Round Table. That'll be nuts.
I'll get that. But I think Iron Studios is a company that's, I don't like, you own them. You can speak to their quality. Like how it quality from, because when last time I spoke on quality, it was like because of the Massive Universe Twitter headline that I always see and always impressed with. And I think it's one of the most consistent lines that I've seen my peers collect without me having without me collecting. But boy, when you say something good about, they be like, but Twitter had customer service is this, or this is that and that. And so that's why I stopped really talking too heavily.
Eric Fletcher in there now. He used to work for Sideshow, and he was actually really, really good at Sideshow. So apparently he's now with Tweetheads. So
we'll see. I know they put up the link.
There,
yeah, I think they got a link up now. I think he went on a little show called RaddTitan. He went on the BSC. Chad went on both of those to. Regardless of the information that came out and how it bubbled, I do applaud him for going to shows and being brave enough to actually address it.
I think he was, after he fucked up on the Batman Statue Collector show, he fucked up big time. And to come on our show, we said,
let's do it all over again.
No, I mean, we weren't going to hold any punches. We asked him all the questions, and he was fine. He answered the questions, and even actually he was in London between Christmas and New Year, and he invited us out for dinner, but unfortunately, we weren't available. But so we're on good terms with him.
Do you think he's too nice to run a business?
I think the problem is with any company in particular. Yeah. Any of these statue companies. So whether it's Benang, whether it's Chad, whether it's Ant Adams, Alex Davis from First Figures, any of these guys, they shouldn't be on social media. I know that when they are, like, for example, Alex Davis was online when, their community was quite small, and he used to do all the live streams, probably before your time, actually. Yeah. And he built up his community really, really well. But it then becomes a problem because you're like everyone's friend, and everyone takes advantage of that, I feel. You need to get a proper marketing team and a proper social media team to do your things like that, and you need to step back at that point. Yeah. And I know how when it's your business, especially someone again like Anne, who purchased a company which was in a bad way, and he turned it all around with Mark, and they did a really, really good job. And I know how hard it would be to step away from that and not kind of be in the limelight. But I do think that they need to look at their position, look at their role, and put someone else in that position. And I think that with every company. That's why Sideshow don't do it. You never see the owner of Sideshow. Most people don't know who he is. That's that guy, Greg. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, no, I think it's I think you gotta know these streets is what I say. You just gotta know these streets, and you gotta know that no matter how much good you try to do, there's always going to be a group of people that are just going to not be for, and I'm not saying it's not valid, but they're always going to come at it from their perspective. And and if you're not willing to have that diet, like, and then if you deal with that one instance, you know, think about it. If you're a company, you serving thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions, depending on how successful you are, right? When you start picking and choosing on who to reply to, the one time you address it in a way that that person don't like, it could be amplified in these streets. Sure. You know what I mean? In a negative way. So yeah, I for one, like 2024 was awesome because we were able to have relationships with like Sideshow, with LBS, in a way where it was not a relationship about getting us product. It was like, how could we best give information and serve the people that rock with us, right? And that's what it is. And so like, I know JC has always been like, he could go to anybody's show and he's always willing to willing to communicate.
He won't come on our show.
he won't come on your show. Hey, no, JC at 2025.
No, I've known Jay for a long time. I've known Jay since like I've known him like 10 years probably, and I actually interviewed him for our website. Like I think it's still live, but I don't actually do anything on there. And we did this like little interview, and he actually remembers it. He kind of brings it up. I met him several times when I've been traveling, and he's a top guy. And we invited him on our show several times to talk about when they had the issues with XM. We invited him and Ben.
And Ben, I remember that.
And Ben was like, "Okay, I'll do it." And then Jay didn't want to, and I kind of understand why he didn't want to, because he's a really nice guy, and I think Ben would have spoken over him and just not let him talk and whatever else. We then invited him to come on. He would
have did a Kendrick Lamar to Drake.
And then we just we invited him on separately a couple of weeks after, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll come on." And then he didn't, and then he went on another chat, and we were a bit like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And then he goes, "Oh, sorry, yeah, I'll come on." And then he went on another chat, and we're like, "Bro." And I had a long call with him about something else.
Yo, Jay, just say you don't fuck with RaddTitan, dude. Don't string him along. I'm just kidding.
He said he's really nervous to come on our show because of how, he wants it to be a good show and he wants to give the right answers, but he's very nervous about it. And I'm like, don't be stupid. It's going to be a chat. We're just going to talk. We're not going to put you on the spot.
I think,
It never happened in the end. He said he wants to do something this year, so we'll see.
No, that's cool. Yeah. I for the most part, I get it, and it's got to be hard too, right? Because then it's like you do one show.
Cole's comment down there actually is Jay. He can't keep quiet, and
that's fact.
That's another reason why the big guys shouldn't be at the video, because otherwise he hasn't got anyone to really answer to apart from licenses, but. He'll go on a show and he'll share too many images, and that was one of the things that caused the problems with the actual idea is too aggressive. That's one of the things that caused the problems with XM, is he shared a lot of stuff he really shouldn't have shared. I know they were guilty of a lot of things, but he did share a lot of things which shouldn't be shared outside of their conversation.
So let's focus on LBS a little bit then, because LBS, they came in the game. Right, and they have a very distinct style, and the beautiful thing about Jay is when I gave him feedback about, because I know like Gio's a huge museum guy. I'm sort of like the opposite. I like dynamic or whatever like that. And when I was able to explain that to him in a way where he's like, he totally gets it, right? He didn't be like, "No, you're wrong," or "No, my shit is the best." And no. He was able to take critique and feedback very professionally. So that was one of the things that stood out with him. And I think what happened is like there's a a bubble that you can surround yourself with about people that just say everything is great, everything is fine, and everything is perfect, and you. But what happens is that gives the company and the owner this false thing, like everybody loves my shit. But in backstage, they're like, oh no, they saying how they really feel about it, right? And so it's sort of like, I think the difference is, and though she's my witness, we had conversations with him, and he was able to take that, and not only that, you know, if the feedback's coming from a good place, be able to, and we don't expect any of it, like if to be implemented, things might not happen, but the fact that he took the time to listen and sort of adapt in a way, I thought that was really, really respectable. But I do think if you continue to surround yourself around, it could be taken advantage of like, give me this, give me this, give me this. And if I don't get this, then this, and all of that. And I think he's probably just like, didn't expect, like, you know what I mean? If I go on this show and then on this show and then I don't go on this show, now this show going to talk shit just because of this show. It like the politics in this game is fucking stupid.
It's too much,
you know what I mean?
Pro quo, to be honest.
We didn't. I mean, we had a conversation with him. We didn't give him a hard time, and we said it's his decision, and there's no hard feelings to be for whatever reason. You got to remember as well. So we're talking about the museum side of things. I mean, Jay was a collector. He collected Bowen. So he collected all of these museum pieces when he was doing it. He had an unlicensed company called Halamar, and they probably weren't really the best licensed company. It's one of the ones which is very of its time. You know, they were, it was when custom pieces were that kind of character who's not being released, but it's not the best piece you're going to get as such. And he was quite reasonably priced, and he was always he would always deliver his pieces, and always had good customer service, so he always had a good reputation. He was approached by Brian Tan, and Brian basically said, look, we have some opportunities that we are not really doing, so can you get involved and go licensed, really? So we have licenses to do 1/3 and 1/7. So do you want to do that? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he did the Spider-Man, the Juggernaut, and I think it's Magneto first, was it? So he did those ones, and then obviously the Magneto was very popular. The 1/7 stuff, I don't even know if that got released. The Spider-Man did it. I think Juggernaut got released, but it wasn't very popular.
Yeah, the smaller ones, right?
Yeah, like 1/7, but the Juggernaut was still pretty big.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing the Spider-Man get released.
No, not that I could recall anyway.
But then obviously from there he kind of continued, and he was doing a good job, and a lot of people were on his side, or he's like jumping on the bandwagon. They're like, yeah, LBS this, LBS that. And I think
I remember Troy with LBF for life in his name. There was like all these. There was a lot of like.
I think XM then got a bit like, oh, hold on a minute. we kind of wanted a bigger piece of that pie, and it just kind of went tits up from there, you know. But
that's right.
I'm glad Jay sorted it out, and I'm glad Jay can go off and do it without them. And all the best.
Yeah. So for LBS, man, I expect. What I hope, all right, for LBS, what I hope for them, my expectation for them is to serve the people that got them here, like their nice museum poses, deliver on the stuff that, are up for pre-order, get that stuff shipped. And then I'm hoping for a little more, not everything, because I know your audience is your audience, but I want to see some more dynamic stuff. So I want to be on the LBS train too, but
how about let them release a statue? That should be your expectation.
Oh, my expectation. Yeah, and also, because I think we do give the benefit of the doubt to them because it's a small company. And the XM stuff, I think that's probably what the problem is. I think
they had a lot of issue with the XM.
You got to adjust. So like, that's where my head is. But this is the year to ship some statues. Go ahead.
They only delivered Iron Man last year, and it was only right at the end. That was the only piece they delivered last year, and the remainder of the Hulks. Other than that, there was nothing delivered.
Yeah.
So
Meanwhile,
this year they need to deliver a lot.
Meanwhile, I got 5 Sideshow pieces delivered last year.
Well, as I say, Sideshow have had a ridiculous year, absolutely
Yeah.
ridiculous year.
And that's
Dude.
only stuff that I bought.
So this is the thing with this is the thing with Sideshows. Like, I don't know if people get the magnitude of changes that happen with them just for the last 2 years that I've been really focusing on the hobby. And it went from a corporation that didn't really, you never thought you could be able to talk to anybody from there, like just from what we do sort of perspective, like. And it also was like pieces that were regurgitated a lot. It was the same pieces. You're gonna get your Batman. You're gonna get your Batman. You're gonna get another Wolverine. Now you're gonna get Wolverine with pants on, like Logan. It was a lot of that. And then, literally, you did something. You got a list, Alex, when I was watching your show today of how many pieces Sideshow put in, and I went through a timeline right before 2024, on I think our last show, where from the jump, it was like piece, announcement, release, piece, release. And these were all like, they weren't all just rehashes. They were like new. They were like Gio mentioned today, like people were getting Dazzlers. People were getting, like I know Riddler was teased or revealed. Riddler, Penguin was done. There was just pieces that people were waiting for that weren't coming out. And on the X-Men front, like me personally, I get the Bishop that I've been dying for. So we get a Bishop that's coming out. Freaking MODOK, who's doing a MODOK? And it's not just one fandom. Now they got a Thrawn for the Star Wars people. They got a Mace Windu for the Star Wars people. It's the magnitude of what they covered in every license. Like, I challenge anybody to come out who's doing that now. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like the stuff or whatever, because everybody don't like everything. But serving the amount of people that they served in this 1 year is freaking
even
crazy.
If you don't like the stuff that they're putting out, you gotta respect their effort and the shit that they're doing as far as like changing up the game.
It's all good. Go ahead, Diane.
No, I was saying you gotta respect the fact that like they're changing up the game. That, you know what I'm saying? Like they're stepping outside the box. They're doing stuff that they haven't been doing before. They're lowering ESs. They're having more dynamic pieces. The price is increasing, but the price is increasing everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's always going to be an argument. But they're going out on a limb and bringing characters that might not be like that, popular as far as like sales go with the MODOK or, you know what I'm saying? Everything isn't always Batman, for example.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And it affords them to take a chance on the Batman. Like the new Canale Batman is like, we call it Batman on a pole, but who cares? There's gonna be a new Batman in a couple of months, right? But the people who don't like that who likes that Batman get that Batman, right? And then the originals, like the Succubus, the Lust, the freaking shit you got in your back, the diver lady. Well. Yeah. It's like, and then it comes out like glazing, but I just list facts. There's nothing subjective about what I said right there. Subjective is paint. Anybody can have an opinion on paint. You either like the paint job or you don't, and then you give feedback for them to improve it, and hopefully their paint jobs get better and better over time. But what's not subjective is these niche characters that are coming out. That's fact. The cadence in which they bringing out shit, that's fact. It's like nobody's fucking with them, like period. So it's sort of like that's like the people you want to celebrate. Too. Like that's what you celebrate. That's not what you try to put down. And then there's stuff to improve. You give them their flowers for what they did right, and then you work on what they could improve. You know what I mean? You don't shit on everything they did, and then because of variance, which sucks, and we're going to talk about some variance, and we're going to talk about all of that stuff. But even with that, their body of work this year, and that's what I focus on, is like the pieces that are my homie get to pick up, like Critical Mass got to pick up. I know Rashid picked up some pieces. They just been killing it. Like, and nothing I'm saying is subjective. You know what I mean? I'm killed based off of output, based off of, like I said, when it comes to quality, I'm not gonna make a subjective argument, like, because I might like the quality, you might don't. It's not worth having that argument because it's subjective. I'm not trying to change your mind if you like something or you don't. But what I can say is, through data, through the shit that they've done, they've killed this year, dude. They killed 2025, bro. Like, killed
Literally.
And then also being able to, and this is something else, we being a community who, our goal is to celebrate the stuff that we love and talk about. And some channels do great jobs of like talking about the stuff that they like and they don't like and bring it to the forefront. What's cool is that even like some sideshow representation has been happening on these. Like it started with Adam, when Anthony Mester went on Adam and he started coming on our show. They get to come in and talk about, hey, we got this coming out. Because the community, this is what we do. We could collect. You guys could like it or don't like it. And what's awesome is like, they're not trying to change your mind to like it. It'll be like, you gotta like this. They'll tell you straight up, don't buy it or whatever. But I appreciate that honesty. I appreciate that they've been sharing. So like, that's why I would love to give them their flowers this year, because on the stuff that is not subjective, they killed it. On the stuff that's subjective, that's gonna hit every individually differently. And it's gonna be up to them, that individual, to figure out how they wanna handle that situation. But yeah, or be like me, don't pre-order shit. I'm sorry, but that was my sideshow spill right there, because I think they've killed it. And then Prime One, I think Prime One is gonna do Prime One. They have their awesome events. You're gonna wait a long time for their statue, but when you get that statue, it most likely is going to be meet your expectations, and that's worth celebrating too. So I think between Prime One and Sideshow, I think they operate differently, but both are successful at what they're doing. And the people that aren't figuring it out are on the borderline. Where's Queen Studios at? You know what I mean?
Well, they've gone very quiet. Queen is gone very quiet.
Where's Queen? Because when I first got in this game, Queen Studios was going to take over the world. They were the best thing ever. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, dude, where's Queen Studios at?
The bands broke up. You know, the lead singer died. Oh, you mean the statue company?
No.
Oh, that Queen.
But yeah, that was my expectation for Sideshow, is that they're going to continue to do what they did 2025. They're going to continue to do what they did in 2024 with some more niche characters, like everything they touch, from Star Wars, from Marvel to originals. I think they're always going to have something for somebody to be excited about. Like I said, nobody's excited about everything, but there's a chance that if you are excited about something, they're going to be the ones to be able to deliver it. And the only thing they could do is deliver it and see if you like it or not. That's up to you guys. But what I do want to see them improve on is some of it's a personal pet peeve of mine, and it might not bother people, but it bothers the shit out of me. It's just the way sometimes the hair sits on the head. There's usually this gap, and the transition is just not natural.
It's like a toupee. Like, let me put this on.
Yeah. So I hope in 2025 that they work on that, and then also like some stuff, like you look at the Weapon X, the paint, that's production paint, and it looks immaculate. It looks freaking amazing.
And MODOK is production too, right?
And then MODOK is production too. So like they have the ability to deliver on it. I'm hoping that that's more consistent.
Batgirl's paint came out amazing.
Batgirl looks fantastic.
Yeah, Batgirl is. I hate man. If I was collecting DC in any fashion,
come on, Crippler.
It is on the cusp of like an impulse buy for me, but it would be such a standalone piece.
It just.
I chose the succubus already, so like I got the succubus as well.
Well, she might not even come out, right? So you might as well just get.
Look at that portrait!
Yeah, look at that portrait.
Look at the freaking lips.
That's one of the
nice and glossy
I've ever seen.
That's a great statue.
Have you got the Mr. Sin? Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
I've got the deep down. I don't have the
Mr. Sin is the other one, the low one.
Yeah,
are you planning to get it though?
I got the deep down.
Yeah. Do you like Mr. Sin one? You gonna get that or?
No, because of the space. You gotta say no sometimes. I still
Mr.
got some
Sim
space,
it was on your list. It made it on your list, Alex.
It was on the list. It definitely was.
Yeah.
I thought long and
Isn't
hard
that a
about it.
space friendly statue though? I think, right?
It is, but
it doesn't look huge. But I think the back end it's kind of got this weird stare thing with like the perspective stuff and that.
But it's all perspective. It's actually really flat, but it's just perspective. We see that.
That's a hell of a good perspective thing because
it is because it makes it look bigger than what it is, but it's not that big at all.
Yeah, but Diane, you can't get everything. So every once in a while, you got to say no.
True. I'm learning that. I'm still learning.
I always say money is not the issue. Space is the issue. Space is the enemy.
And chat, before we wind down, let us know what your expectation for it. Pick any company you want. And what
at the moment, money's my issue rather than the space. I've got loads of space.
By the way, Alex, congrats on the new house.
Thanks, man.
Congrats.
Appreciate that. Yeah, well, it's the new house and then the new baby, and I've been off work. I took off work for because obviously the baby was born, moving house, and I'm like, I don't want to work for a little while. So now I'm like going into my reserves, and I'm a bit like, yeah, I need to get back to work now. So,
man,
do you know what you want to do when you go back? Are you looking for anything particular as far as career?
I did 2 pieces of freelance work over December, so I did something with Supercraft because I was with Mighty Jacks for like 7-8 months. I was with them.
And that's former XM people, right? Mighty Jacks or no?
No, well, Brian did go over there. Yeah.
Okay,
so,
Brian went over there.
And so I did some work with them. I kind of left in May, and then they asked me to come back in December, do some stuff. Then did a little bit of work for Rio Studios in Hong Kong. I decided to go onto LinkedIn. I saw these people, it must be like a January thing. They put up this, I'm looking for work and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So I just put up a post saying, look, I've just finished these 2 projects. This is me, let me know if you've got anything. And I've been contacted by 2 companies. So I'm just kind of talking. I had a conversation today, which was really, really positive. They made me an offer straight away. And I've got another one that's going to be on probably on Monday next week or so now.
Is it all industry stuff, or are you doing something?
Yeah, it's all actually companies that you'll know, yeah.
Any company will be lucky to have somebody with the insight and knowledge and be able to navigate both in a way where you can keep your respect intact. I think that's the biggest challenge.
I need you next time. I'm going to have this interview on I think Monday. Can you come and hype me up and do all that for me?
Yeah, we're gonna give you your statue street cred.
Yeah,
it's like
man is done.
It's like the Bruce Buffer of statues.
No, dude.
Introductions. Yeah.
I think the problem is like it's. In this game, it's like there's a lot of
his brother, yeah.
No, there's a lot of pride. I believe in like if you watch people and they helped you in the past, you want to learn from them and cultivate relationships with them. You don't want to there's a lot that you could offer to anybody that's trying to do this. Like that's why I with you, I talk to everybody, you know what I mean? Because it's we've watched at some point. You guys helped at some point. We disagreed on a lot of points. We agreed on a lot of points. But what's cool is that without that, you and people like you helped us make these purchases decisions. A lot of our XM stuff that you see in our background was because of people watching you guys geek out over it and stuff like that. And so I think it's shows. I think
give credit where credit's due,
and big
when they make a mistake, you need to point it out. I think that's a really big thing. Is you get a lot of a lot of Americans, for example. Not everyone, but there's a big thing about country loyalty, and you want to be I will buy from Sideshow because it's an American company.
Yeah,
and you do get a bit of that. So you get a lot of guys who absolutely shit on and hate XM. Because they're not an American company, and also because they have to pay more in shipping to get it over. It ends up costing them a bit more money. So they're like, they want to make excuses not to buy it. And I think that's a problem as well. And I think being in the middle in UK, we get fucked from every angle, no matter what we buy. So it's consistent. And, even if we buy Sideshow, we have to pay shipping, which is normally not too bad. But then they add the price of the item, they add the shipping, and then they take 20% on top of that as well. So you pay that. So it works out quite a lot. So with us, when we get XM pieces, for example, I was working for them, so I got like a discount, and then the shipping would be quite expensive, but we wouldn't pay tax on it. So it just balanced out really for us. And then you got people in Singapore who, if they buy XM pieces, it's dirt cheap for them, and if they get Sideshow pieces, it's really expensive. So
dude, I remember getting my freaking Starscream and a fucking Starscream and my Dark Phoenix. I remember getting both of those, and Art was like, "Guess how much I just got this Dark Phoenix for?" It was in the hundreds of dollars. It didn't even reach 1,000. He got his Dark Phoenix.
That's crazy.
And then he's like, "Man, if we could figure out how to ship the Starscream, I'll sell you mine." And it was just sort of like, I had one coming already, so I had to see how that panned out. But soon as if that thing wouldn't have came, I would have got it like half the price.
But it's funny. But it's funny that you mentioned that, Alex, as far as how some Americans do that. As far as it's not American, I'm not going to buy it. It's not American, and because I was in a repair shop, and this lady was trying to get a set of tires, and she was adamant. It's like, well, I don't want tires that are made in China for going to all of. And the guy had to explain all the tires are made in China. Everything's made in China. Michelin, Dunlap, Goodyear.
What type of phone you use?
What type of phone?
I guarantee you, it wasn't made in Washington, D.C.
And also the statues. They said, "What? I want Sideshow because they're an American company. Where's the statues made? Fucking China."
There's one company. One company out there where they don't make them in China, and I think Hex make them in Thailand. Because I know that the guy from Hive Studios, when I was discussing things with him years ago, he was going to open his own factory in Thailand because of how China's getting so expensive, and I'm pretty sure he's done it now. There was a whole big thing last year about factories as well, where they were all getting shut down, and there was a big thing about counterfeit products, but it's also unlicensed products, but also the naked products. And the naked products were the ones with the bigger concern, because obviously in China they censor porn. They're not allowed.
You can't chip the nipple either.
Yeah, you're not allowed to fuck the dildo or something. So
in Singapore, you can't even have a Playboy magazine, right?
Oh, I don't know about that. I think in Singapore.
I heard something about that in Singapore.
Yeah, in Singapore, you're not allowed to watch porn on your phone. You can get arrested for it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, God.
Pride is
how many Americans will be in jail right now?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm guilty while I'm over there. Yeah. I'm lonely while I'm there. So, but no, it's crazy. But then again, so the factories are raided. Yeah. The factories get raided. And then they basically bribe them to let them reopen, and it's a lot of money that they want from them. There's a good 80 factories, and then they close them down, and then they hold them basically hostage to reopen them. And a lot of the license companies are suffering from it as well.
Ireland,
35%. Yeah.
Ireland, 35% of the statue cost, and the shipping cost is combined.
Yeah, Mexico's 100%, isn't it? And Brazil's 80%, or is the other way around?
That's crazy. Shout out.
And Philippines as well is really expensive. So. And
it's crazy because it's already like the field that I'm in. If we were to hire people here, and I always fight for hiring people here, and you get the budget, and then you just sort of like, I got to make this work or whatever. It's bad because it's already cheaper in India and China. And so like if you if that's getting expensive,
I'm having
Yo,
flashbacks of
that
companies
means
that
Thailand
outsource
they're
service
pretty
calls,
much
too.
slaves in Thailand because they ain't getting
Yeah,
paid shit.
I know, because I had to call Amazon today because
Yes,
I got this
man.
thing delayed, and I'm trying to understand this dude. That accent is so thick, and I'm like, you need to go back to speech class because you about to lose and sell, my brother. And I'm trying to listen to him. I'm like, say that again.
We've got a lot of Indians here, so we kind of get used to the accent. But it's literally like you phone up. The worst thing as well is when you phone up and they put you through to the call center. I can understand them, but the worst thing is they always go, "Hello, this is John," and you're like, "Your name isn't John." You're definitely
they
not
give
John.
them all fake. Just give
You
say
give them, like,
your real
fake
name.
names.
I
Yeah.
support you.
Yeah,
I support you using your real name, bro. You don't have to. You don't have to appease me, Brian.
Hey, I don't care. Here's the thing, Alex. I don't care where you from. If you can help me to get my thing, we're cool.
Absolutely.
But I gotta understand what the fuck you saying.
Sure.
So is this the year?
I had it with eBay. Sorry, I had it with eBay where I phoned up a call center and it just went round in circles. It was really annoying. But anyway, sorry.
No. Like, is this the year? Nobody here owns J&D. Is this the year somebody on this panel gets a
Nope.
J&D statue?
Hell fucking
It
no.
won't be me.
Come on, damn it! We need those J&D boys in our chat.
I need that money. I need that money in my pocket. I don't have J&D money.
Yo, I think Rashid was close to getting that berserk though.
He was.
You already know how I feel when my stance is on J&D. I don't think they are real statues. You can literally you cannot call them statues. Do you call them
because they silicone?
because of silicone? Exactly.
Mm.
Do you call? What about the figures you see at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum?
You
Are
are a
they statues?
statuist. You a statuist.
Are you a
Well, they're better quality
You
than Madame
racist.
Tussauds, for
You
sure.
don't like silicone people.
They're silicone. They're silicone.
He's a
move.
mannequin.
Statues
person.
don't move. Polys don't move.
Polys don't
Not out ahead.
AK is more of a
You don't
mannequin.
acknowledge the others. Oh,
I think the
man.
problem, I mean, like I said, there's like the comparison is what I think there's no
We gotta
artist
talk about
signature
that.
there. There's no artist signature there. There's nothing like when you look at a Sideshow statue, you look at a female, you're like, oh yeah, that's Mark Newman, or that's Will Harbottle, or that's Daniel Bell, and you can see that artist's work there. You can see the signatures of it. When you look at like the J&D pieces, or even the Infinity Studios busts, or even the Queen Studios busts, they look so realistic that there's no signature there.
I get that. I like that, but I get that fix from Hot Toys. I still collect Hot Toys in the room. You know what I'm saying? And it allows me to get, like, if I'm into a movie and want a certain character for their likeness.
But Crip,
And
Hot Toys
you guys
is
were
trying
talking
to-
about posing and
they
stuff
trying to
like
go
that
down
on the
that
show
route,
earlier.
too. Like, it's Hot Toys that got like silicone pieces too, right?
I think they're starting. I don't know
wow.
if so. I think they're starting to.
That premium line that they're charging more for.
Well,
They
that
do
was
got a premium line.
It's a premium line now, right?
And I know
that was
Jay.
the whole
did it with the
bullshit
Anakin.
thing about J&D. J&D were meant to be the kind of upper echelon of collectors.
It ain't
They were
for
meant to
you.
be this high level. We're doing these fantastic pieces, and then they go, "Yeah, we're going to do better," and then charge more.
Platinum
It was just
grade
like-
silicone,
And then that
baby.
one, yeah.
I think that's
Hey,
when it
now
lost a
that's,
lot of people though, because
that's super
because
fresh.
people thought they were collecting the top tier,
Yep.
and then when it was like, nah, son, y'all bitch made down there. We up here
You
now.
know,
This is the platinum grade.
The thing about platinum silicon is it's the same as saying I had a steak last night. I had a sirloin steak, and it's the same as saying that you can have a $5 sirloin steak,
rib.
or you can have a $100 sirloin steak.
Yeah.
You know, there's different grades of platinum silicon. So there's like a lower level of platinum silicon, which you can get buckets of it for like $5, or there's like a higher level of it, which is the kind of medical grade, which is $100 for a kilo. So there are different levels of it, and a lot of people don't know that. And it's like all platinum silicon. So what is it? All I think is all platinum silicon is not all medical grade. So all platinum silicon, all medical grade is platinum, but not all platinum is medical grade. That makes sense.
Oh,
So
I
there's
didn't know that.
like food grades and there's like lower grades of it. Yeah.
See, and that's the thing, and you would just assume that I'm already at the brand was already at an exotic brand, so like I'm thinking I'm already at that, and I'm like, no. But I guess the people that are at that brand can go up.
How do you know what grade you're getting for like a J&D statue, for example?
None of us went to school for it. You don't.
And this is I actually had a conversation.
They can say
with
whatever
a friend.
they want.
Yeah, they can, because I had a conversation with a friend, and he's been working with Silicone for like 25 years, and he works like on movies and he does props and things like that. He said that with the problems with that J&D Wonder Woman were that the face is higher detail and the face has a lot more going on. So they probably used the higher quality platinum silicone for that. Mm-hmm. When you then get the arms and the legs, they probably use the lower quality because they don't need to use the high quality for it.
So is that going to break down like over time though? Is that more susceptible? Is that more susceptible to breaking down?
Yeah, like if they're using the platinum, they use it for what is the reason they choose a higher grade?
So if it's like basically so the face and things like that, you would want to use the highest grade possible.
Can you see the differences? I guess is what I'm saying.
I'm assuming you can see the difference.
Okay.
But silicone is like slightly translucent, so then when you're mixing different batches, that's where the problem is with the different colors. Because the guy who was complaining about it, there was another guy who came in and said, when I displayed mine in my lounge, they match. When I display it in another place, it doesn't match. So it's like a warm light, white light thing. Mm-hmm. And then there's also other issues which are to do with, I don't think these have a core, but if you have like a core in the silicone as well, then it depends on if they're using a higher quality resin, because then that can bleed out into the silicone. And then there's also then...
Is that like a metal piece in the middle?
No, it will be just a resin. And it can be like a real cheap resin. But these probably don't have it because they're so small. And then also you've got the side of it where the arm and the head are painted in separate places. So then when they bring them together to match them, they're not going to match 100%.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So let's speak. Our last topic is variants, and it affected. There's people in our community who really despise variants because of whatever reasons, right? Or reissues, and totally understandable for collectors who this is a collecting hobby, right? What are you guys' stance on reissues and variants? And what would you like to see? How would you help? What would you like to tell companies to help them mitigate it, or mitigate the not the need of them, but also, I guess, if you're gonna do them, how would you like them to execute? Because you don't want, like, for me, like if it's, well, no, I'll let you guys go and then I'll go. We'll start with Alex and just walk our way down.
God, I know from day one I've always said that one of the things that Jerry Macaluso for the old PCS did well was he released all his variants on day one. He basically said, here are the 3 different types of Street Fighter pieces we're going to release, and we're going to release them day one, and we're going to show you what's on offer. And I think that is the best way to do it. The other way is like where Sideshow do it, where they did it with the Hulks, where they show you all 3 on day one, and then you can choose which one you want, and you know the others are coming.
Yeah.
What they did with the line of the Mythos line, I think is really shitty. And then also Prime One doing that as well with the Guyver, where they did the anime version or the manga version later on, which is like a very basic color difference. The only reason they've done that one is because the Guyver 1 is the only one that sold well. The Guyver 2 sold okay, and then everything else sold really badly. So they've come back and they're like, how can we make some money from this actual license? And they've gone back and re-released the Guyver because they see it's selling for a higher price on the aftermarket.
Because of you and Slifer.
Oh, okay.
Hate that I didn't get that when I could have, but back in the day when it first came out, I passed on it.
It's a fantastic piece, and again, I mean, like, it's probably my favorite piece of my collection. I have one pre-order actually at the moment, and it's a Prime One piece. So I hate most of the things they do, but still I can appreciate the quality that they do in their pieces.
Yeah. Listen to GL talk today about Prime One. It's a company that he's not really big on right now, but he also can identify if somebody does if it's a good piece, it's a good piece. But there's some practices that.
Well, I mean, when you look at the awards yesterday, I mean, we gave Prime One, I don't know how many, but we gave them a bunch of awards, and we have to detach from that with our beliefs about the company.
Which you guys do a good job.
And we, even though we think, they're in it for the money. They don't give a fuck. They do not give one fuck about any of you collectors. They don't care about you. They don't care about what you collect. All they care about is they get your money. And they get as much money from you as possible. That's all they care about.
We don't like you. We don't care about you. You just better pay us.
Always about the money.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing as well, is that's why a lot of these CEOs, going back to they should stay off of social media. Otherwise, it just creates this friend thing. And I don't know. It's not, Anyway, I digress.
But I think, I think with re-releases is, I think this is what I've been preaching, is that we all know how business is. If sometimes maybe, I don't know, I'm not here to make excuses for any of it. Shit happens. I just hope in best case scenarios where it's stuff that's inside your control and you could control, that they release all of the options and let the consumer make an educated decision based off of the information that they provided to them. And then if it's not that right day, before it ships, somewhere in that window, when let people know, and then allow them to be able to make changes without it affecting their down payment if they wanted to. I think that's the best way to do it, but even though they will get shit for doing that too, because like Rashid don't like that. You know what I mean? Because he, I'm not gonna talk for him, but I'm gonna talk for him. He likes his statues to be as unique as possible when they get them, and so for him, so that's the thing. It's a lose-lose, but which one do you lose the least from? You got to choose, and I think more people will be happy with being able to know that a re-release or a reissue or a variant is going to be released of the statue that you might like, right?
Some of them is a hard thing to do with some of the variants, because obviously a company can't guarantee how well something's going to sell. So
that determines a lot.
With that in mind, so if they release a statue and all of a sudden, bang, 5,000 sold, and they're like, holy shit, we're going to fucking milk that, and then they're going to release the variant.
And then I literally was in StatueCon when people were asking Anthony of hey, can you do 1/4 versions of certain characters that were 1/5? They're asking for it. You know what I mean? We just I
probably would have bought the Frankenstein if it was 1/4.
What happened? You would have bought the
Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, the Frankenstein monster? Yeah.
If that was 1/4, I probably would have gone for it, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that's the best way to handle it. I think they're gonna keep coming. I just think, I like I said, if it's something that bothers you, you know what to do as a collector for handle your personal situation. But for the most part, if there's 5 more people that's gonna buy it because it's available to them, to the one that's gonna be upset, that's data that's gonna be looked at. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which side of the fence you're on.
They say as well that the quantity of people who actually are online talking about these statues are a very, very small percentage of the people actually buying them. So due to that, all this noise is going to be made on the communities and things like that for Sideshow anyway. But it's not really going to damage their bottom line. No. Someone like XM, I think a lot of the
smaller companies, it could. Smaller companies, it'll impact a lot harder because their pre-orders could plummet based off of because it's such a niche, and the niche is people talking about all of this stuff. And let's just say Alex gets something, they unbox it. This is shit that you can lose lots of pre-orders from XM, but with Sideshow, you can just go into any of their chats and you see a bunch of names you never heard of in anybody's community. Don't give a fuck about none of us who's in there shopping because they are more consumer than collector, and they're serving that consumer base with a lot of stuff. The biggest thing is to hope is that we get some unique stuff, low ES for the people that like ES, and take those wins when they come. But the expectation for a multi-million-dollar company to be a niche, the more you grow, the more outside of that there is. So I think the J's, like the LBS, could totally be affected by like perception in the community. And I'm not talking of just us, just the small people that collect that statue, because it's not something that you're going to be able to go to a mainstream site to find. You find it on sites like this, CMP and RaddTitan, and like you find it on that, and then you got to figure out where to buy it, because you're not going to a mainstream site to buy it. You're going to a distributor to buy it. So there's a lot of steps. So that funnel goes directly to them, and I feel like they most likely have to be mindful of what the collector, and they're in a position to do that because they're not in the business to mass market something. The ES has to be low. You know what I mean?
But you know, with the where they've released these Mythos pieces now in c.o.c, I think that they're going to release the Ventress, and they're probably going to release the Emperor.
The Ventress has already been announced, so that
has it? Yeah, but has the Emperor been announced or?
Not yet, no. But the Ventress and Darth Maul. We'll go through those pictures real quick, and then we'll get out of here, because I know it's late.
I was going to say, because with the Emperor, I mean, his pose is quite questionable whether that's going to be safe for a c.o.c.
Yeah, the one that is like.
Yeah, and then you've also got the older pieces, but I think the older pieces they probably won't be able to release in c.o.c because I don't think they were 3D sculpted. So if they were traditionally sculpted, they won't be able. They would have to scan them, and I don't know if that'd be quite expensive to do.
So yeah, so this is what we got for.
This pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, I have a Sage Ventress. I have a Sage Ventress, and I'm content, and I'm like, I love how mine look. It's one of my favorite statues. It's a beautiful statue in the scale that I have it in. But then when you see this, you see the size.
It looks totally night and day.
You're like, yo, what in the world? And the lightsaber lights up. That's what's killing me. It's the lightsaber lighting up.
Yeah.
That guy says everyone wanted the Marion Guard. Yep. So these are the latest ones. I think this was shown at the 12 Days of Sideshow. But yeah, if you like these before and you wanted them in a bigger size,
you got them now.
If you liked them before and you bought the 1/5 and you settled, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, they're beautiful in the size, the 1/5, and they're bigger and more presence and everything you like about it times 10
more
and more, especially the light up sabers.
I think the old Gamorrean Guard, I think, is one of the ones I'm sure it was traditionally sculpted.
Rogue.
I don't think this piece was well received online, at least.
Another piece I saw before they announced it, but I can't talk about it.
The only thing I can go by is the what they show here, and I think this is the most elegant way to show her power. It tells you everything about the character. It's like, you know, she's taking off that glove, and you know what she could do when she takes it off.
Exactly.
So,
you know, she's about to fuck you up.
Yeah, I mean, that is a power. EJ says, Rogue, you have my attention. Yeah, so like, depending on, I haven't seen the sculpt. I don't know what the base looks like. I don't know what's under that belt. I want to know what's under that belt.
You'll be pleased. I know you.
I will be pleased. But yeah, like I like this over the showing like the Wolverine claws and the ring and all of that stuff. I like this does the job of like, yo, I think the uphill battle this piece has with reception is it's going to be compared with their last. Sideshow Rogue Premium format, which was
quite nice.
Amazing. Yeah, it was a really nice.
The problem
piece.
with that last one is that they should have flipped the portraits instead of making that like an exclusive. They should have just included it.
But see, but what you said right there is the mixed messaging, because I agree with you, but then it's sort of like you'll have the some collectors that be like, no, that's what makes mine unique, and that's what make it. You know what I mean? So it's a lose-lose wherever you go with this. So it's like
that's true.
Yep. Because it's pretty much an exclusive or bust right now. You know, if you want the classic hair, which you do, even though the straight hair is fine, it looks nice. But if you want that authentic, if you're going for that X-Men cartoon animated look, you got to get that. And this shit, dude,
so crazy, man. That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
I gotta ask Anthony, did they pick the smallest girl in this company to stand next to this thing? Because this thing look huge, and I don't know if she's small or not. She
is small because me and CNP met her at Comic-Con.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. So okay, because it makes this thing look ginormous.
She's only probably 110 pounds.
5
It looks like he's on his back and he's like, let me up. So what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? What do you guys think about this MODOK?
I like it.
It's cool.
I like it.
It's cool.
Good.
It looks good, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
I don't have no connection to the character, so I don't know.
Oh man, shout out to AIM, shout out to MODOK is a character that I never thought we'll see in statue form. This is what we were talking about. And this might be the reason why. We'll see how much this sells.
It's gonna have a low ES regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it does enough to allow the people who really wanted to get it, because man, if I was in my Marvel bag right now and I wanted to get AIM and AIM soldiers and Captain America, because Captain America got a really good arc with AIM, I could have seen myself really getting into this. Yeah. But it's really, really, really well done. I wonder how much people are waiting for a MODOK. It's such a risky thing. It's such a risky piece.
I don't think a lot of people are waiting for it, but once it's introduced, I feel like people will be like, "Oh wow, this is cool," because no one else has done it.
Yeah, they've got the old Bowen piece, and then they've got the old AIM busts where they got their arms in the air.
Oh yeah, that was
I think that they show MODOK in one of the TV shows or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on Hulu.
I can't remember which
one. Hulu had his own show.
Oh, yeah. Stop motion. Yeah.
All this needs is like the problem with MCU is so cold right now. If MCU was hot and this was the next villain, dude, this shit will sell like crazy.
Oh yeah,
because once you understand who this dude is and how crazy he is, you get over the goofiness quick, and you just be like, "Yo, this dude ain't no joke."
Quantumania ruined him, so
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like Quantumania, they did introduce him, and they messed it up so bad. So we got a Loki.
Be hot. You can just look at the damn detail on the back of the chair, and
just the finger articulation and sort of it's not just flat on the. I was talking to somebody when I was giving feedback on the throne piece, and this is what I'm talking about. You don't hold a throne like you gripping it like you taking a shit or something like that. And a lot of people do. I'm like, why are you struggling? You just sitting there, right? When I say attention to detail, this is the type of stuff I'm talking to, like about the fingers is it looks like Mjolnir is draping from his fingers or something like that, and the way that his hands are pretty much dancing with it is dope.
Maybe
and
he's casting the spell. You ever think about that?
No, look at this part.
Or maybe he says
it's like his finger roll, like he's rolling his fingers.
It almost but that's the thing.
I see what you're both saying there, actually, because I actually initially thought he was doing some kind of spell, and then I see now, and the other thing was in the background, but then
this thing right here. Because what's cool about it, if it's a spell or if it's a throne piece that's creating motion just with the fingers, which is pretty dope, yo.
Agreed.
It's dope. And you got that. The smirk is looking good, from what we can see.
So
it looks like Matt Damon. Stop it. Matt Damon. Looks like Matt Damon. Stop it.
This is probably Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Is this piece for you now that you trying to move into a different direction?
Hey, I am off of the Marvel train, bro. There's not a Marvel or DC piece you could sell me right now.
I don't believe it. Are you
Yo,
serious?
I'm getting the last one, which is the Bishop.
Yeah.
And because I was already done with X. Let's say I'm not selling any of my X-Men.
Yeah.
I was already done with my X-Men once Bishop got here. Like it's literally the last spot. I got Iron Fist there as a placeholder. I gotta find a place for my boy.
And
Iron
you're
Fist.
thinking about
You got him a
Batgirl.
placeholder for Bishop.
You still thinking about Batgirl.
No, like I man, if Batgirl was, let's say if that Batgirl was, who would I love that Batgirl to be? From, if it was Tifa, or if it was,
We need a
Aerith?
Tifa.
In Thailand, in the dojo store, they had a Silicone 1/3 Tifa. And,
I would have been filling that thing up. They'd be like, something wrong with that dude. Get him out of here.
That's the thing about it. She was anatomically correct. Literally, yeah.
Wow.
Critical mass approved.
The guy in
Yo.
the shop was telling me, "Oh, you could take her underwear off and put your finger inside her." I was like,
Oh,
What
that's-
the
Oh,
fuck?
wow.
I think that's
Who
what
said
that's the detail I'm talking about. Alex.
God damn. Medical
You
grade
know how many
indeed.
fingers been up in there?
You notice how the labia just perked.
Hey, they were like, "Yo, what's up with all of these fingerprints?"
Right.
Yo, it's not Aries, you American. It's Aerith. Aerith. But yeah, no, in America, when you played the classic PlayStation version, it was Aries.
Yeah,
and
the
then
original. They changed their name
they changed it. They
Yeah.
changed it for the rebirth.
for pronunciation
remake.
reasons or some. It was some lame excuse too.
No, the localization got it wrong back in the
that's
day, so they fixed it with the re-release.
It's a typo.
Yeah, it's pretty much a typo. El Moreta. I'm about to pull my Puerto Rican
You
card.
butchered the hell out of that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Let AK say it.
Yo, AK, what does it say?
La Muerta.
La Muerta.
You gotta roll that. tongue.
Muerta.
Yeah, roll the R.
Muerta.
Roll the-
Thank you, AK.
Yo, have you ever had a mata? No. What do we don't see much here, but look, I like what they working with.
It looks like the
Yeah.
character in the comic. I looked up the
Is she
comic.
coming out of a
Kirby.
coffin?
Right, so
Or what?
Yes, she is. She's
Yeah.
coming out of a coffin.
Yeah, someone put up the comic cover. It was like Coffin Comics or something. I think.
Yes.
yeah, coffin
Yeah,
comic.
right
Yeah.
here, yeah.
They're the brand that's currently doing Lady Lady Death, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
Carl, you're not lying, dude. Oh, the person who did Lady Death did this?
Yeah, that comic company also prints the current Lady Death stories.
Gotcha. Hello, true believers. Roll that R. Yeah, Carl, man, I'm telling you, like Scarlet, they made that little CEO or whatever. She was. She was the head of. She was actually the head of the weapons division and soldier division. She's no joke. What she did to Barrett. Spoiler. No, I won't spoil it. But
Everybody
so here we
already
go,
know.
folks.
Ooh, look at that hair.
We got a. I know I got another picture of this one, but yeah, there's the hair, there's the
I
locks.
like the raised suit, the emblem.
Yeah,
or
people
whatever.
were complaining
I
about
like
it, but
that.
I like
No, I
that.
kind of dug
I
that.
like it. Same.
Yeah.
I like it too.
I'm surprised they didn't go with the color. Be like, it's not a hot pink. It's not that kind of red.
Yeah.
And it's
No.
nice when you can see that blue is more flatter than the
Yeah.
red.
Yeah, it's a lot going on here.
It looks
and
good,
I
though.
like it. Yeah, we got a full picture here somewhere. I thought it was right next to this one, but we'll get to it, and we'll talk about it more when we get to the full picture. But yo, I've been in my RoboCop bag lately.
I don't know
bro.
how I'm feeling about this. The legs look too short. Or
No,
something.
I don't like. Yeah, I've been in like that's what I mean. Like, doesn't PCS have one too?
Yeah.
And
This is
Iron
half scale.
Studios.
Yeah, this one's Infinity
Half
here.
Studio.
This is Infinity half scale. I saw this one. And,
What do you think in person?
I'm actually a big RoboCop fan. My
Yes,
problem with this is like listed as RoboCop 1987, but when you look at the back, it looks more like RoboCop 2.
Hmm.
Oh.
And it's just something about this. I think the element of it where it's got like a remote control, and you press the remote control and the leg opens up, and I just think that really fucking cheapens it. It makes it like a neck and motion sensor thing.
Mm.
And one of the things that's quite clever is the actual key on the arm is a pentagon, I think it is. So pentagon.
It's a what?
So you kind of, it's like a pentagon. Is that like 6 sides?
6 instead of 8.
Yeah, so
Or
6
4 like a
sides,
hexagon.
and you can kind of turn it to your arm in all those different positions. So that's the way the key's been done.
That's pretty cool.
And the reason for that is you can turn the arm around, and you can change your hand, so it's like an open hand going for the gun. It's like a silicone face as well, so it does look pretty cool. But for me, my problem is I saw the prototype, and the prototype, I know that they rushed it for the con, and I know that they 3D printed it all. So when you touch the pieces, they feel really cheap. And I know that they're not going to be like that because they're going to obviously cast them and make them out of polystone and whatever else. But the version I saw, I can't get over that because I was touching the hands and they were like really, really light. Really light.
Man.
So for me, even though they are going to make up for it, I can't judge it because the version I saw was all 3D printed. It was painted well.
I'll tell you, because I see what you're saying about the leg, but dude, I just literally watched 1 and 2 back to back, and that fool's walk when he stands sometimes, you go back, it ain't like he was like this specimen of like pure agile engineering. This fool was like, he's an awkward ass, he's an awkward ass dude, and in the best possible ways, but it's not like, I think people remember him being a badass, but like he got his ass whooped a lot in these movies, dude. Like Ed 209, that fight, and then like you remember at the end of 1 when they take him to the warehouse, put him up and they stripped him.
I haven't seen RoboCop in a long time. I need to rewatch it.
No, I love RoboCop 1 is one of my favorites, and I remember my friend saying 2 was better than 1. I disagree. 1 is like
I disagree.
2 is a good watch. 3 is one that's like, damn.
3, I will never watch again. I told myself, I was like, no, this doesn't exist. I will never watch that again. Now you make
robots, samurais and shit.
Yeah, like the jetpack.
Okay, that's it. Rocket
But we got
the best.
Ed 209 up in the building.
So that needs more detail for that price that they're charging.
Yeah, I see. I think that's the line. I think that's the.
Look at
it's hard, right?
Robots, right? With all
because I think it looks great.
Yeah, RoboCop. Ed 209 is supposed to be a little bit bigger than RoboCop.
Comply.
Well, the thing about with Ed 209 is there is a picture from behind, and you actually see on his legs where that piston's at the lowest point. And he's bent over, so he can actually be like another 2 foot taller.
Yeah, this can slide up.
Yeah. Comply.
What up, Richard? Welcome, homie.
Would have been nice to have
that Kane. Yo, Kane. RoboCop 2, not the movie 2, but the double entendre they had in there. RoboCop 2, which was Kane. They had a robot in there that was freaking high off Nuke, and every time he seen Nuke,
looking for this.
2 was kind of stupid. Yo, they had the Kingpin that I would have slapped the shit out of. Like, yo, he's like, you know, you want this Nuke. You know, you're gonna want some more. And the girl was just sort of like, fine. and then they hold up.
Why did your voice just turn into like Arnold there?
My voice.
You went all like Arnold Schwarzenegger there.
Oh man, no, I love watching the first one made me realize no, I still love that movie. Watching the second one, I was like, I don't like this. I'm glad I didn't start with this one. I watched this one last. I think they did a decent job for back in the day, but it was one was a satire of like just like the gore and the violence. It was just a kick-ass 90s action movie. 80s. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
80s.
Damn, was it really 80s?
Movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was 80s. That's right.
Back in the day.
And 2 was like early comic book movies. You know what I mean? It's just like early comic book
movies that's ever been made.
And then you look it up, Frank Miller wrote it, and you be like, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a big RoboCop fan, and I'm very biased. So yeah.
Do you like 2 better than 1?
No.
No. Okay.
One's much better.
We're in the same place. Where do your love of RoboCop stops with the movies, or does it go to the TV show and the comics? Because when I was into it, I did all.
It's more just a movie. I mean,
there it is.
You know, when I was younger, I mean, I was born '81, and when I was younger, I was watching like all these movies when they came out, and I shouldn't have been, but I saw RoboCop. I must have seen it. It would have been like in 1989 because it would have taken 2 years to come out on VHS, and yeah, I watched it really young, and it stuck with me. I really enjoyed it. And I have that attachment to it. The only bad part is at the end when Dick Jones goes out the window and he's got like his arms all like Mr. Tickle from Mr. Bear.
Yeah.
And I got the Arrow like 4K restoration of it, and that's the only thing it really doesn't fix. You're not gonna really fix the stop motion, but it looks as good as it's gonna be with Ed 209 and stuff. But that's the one scene that is like, oh, we get to the end, and now that one you can't save it.
Spaghetti helms.
But that was cutting edge back then, though.
Did you say you were born in '81?
Yeah.
Youngin. He's a youngin.
I graduated high school. I graduated high school in '82.
Damn, but
Damn.
Youngin.
I look older though. Black don't crack, so yeah. I
didn't say it.
Black don't crack, baby. Mitchell, I agree. RoboCop is a dark, underrated classic. I was wondering if RoboCop was does it get the love it deserves? I think so. I think people recognize it as one being one
I
of
think
the great.
RoboCop gets a lot. Yeah. RoboCop's got a lot of fans. A very big cult following.
Yeah. That's good because if not, it does deserve it. And 2,
I'm just glad they didn't do a RoboCop versus Terminator movie. The books were good. The video game was good. As long as they did, yeah.
Dude, RoboCop's yo, I'm playing the game.
They upgraded them all in the comics, didn't they? So basically, RoboCop was like a better model, and he I think in like the first comic he does like 4 Terminators. He kills them all. He's too slow, and he, even though he's got like quite a good crush strength, he can't crush a Terminator. So he would get done. Yeah,
I think I that's what's really weird because he's like early robot. It's not sleek robot, and that's what I love about RoboCop. But playing the game, it makes you. I don't know if you guys play video games or not, but the RoboCop, I think it's called Rogue City, or I think it's called Rogue City.
Oh yeah, the one that's on PlayStation or Xbox or whatever.
Yeah, it was on sale on Steam for like $23. I picked it up. And
it's decent. You know, if it's
that's what made me go back and watch I was watching the movies and I was like, let me see if that game is like, it's actually, you feel like Robo, like the headshots and the dick shots. You can shoot him in a dick and it should go, she go fly. you can shoot him.
Only you would be aiming for that.
Do you see
somebody come after me, bow.
Ultimate headshot.
Right, the real headshot, baby.
He said shoot him in the dick.
Yo, but like, and then you got mods on the pistol, and then it's, you can mod it to where it just makes a mess of their heads and their arms, like their body. Yeah.
Explodes them.
And what I was impressed more of how reserved they were. Like, it's not action. You go through Detroit, you see the hotels, the freaking the TV stores, all of that stuff, like right in Detroit.
Yeah.
But you have to investigate before you actually get into the mist. You have to track down and get clues and find the locations of where these people are, and then go in there and raid it. And when you finally get in there and raid, that you're targeting, like, it feels really RoboCop. Is it the best game in the world? No, but if you like RoboCop, you're gonna like this
diversion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's on my list actually. I've got so many games I need to play.
Man, what's the last one you got? What was the last one you played? We already talked about this.
Last one I played was Ghosts of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
That's hot too.
Yeah. I had like director's cut. My girlfriend bought it for me.
Same.
I think you left off on Archangel. What do you got after that?
Okay.
Yeah, he was going through pictures. I was telling me he left the last
Oh
one.
no,
he
no,
showed.
I was.
Oh no, RoboCop.
Gotcha.
My bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I didn't
no,
get far. I didn't get far on Ghost of them because my son was born and then I couldn't play anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is a type of game that I'm slowly getting through. On
It's
PlayStation, I
good,
got
though.
it. I got to chapter 2. Really good. It's so relaxing that it puts me to sleep because I try to collect everything, but I'm like, you got to go get the haikus and the foxholes, and I can't move on until I get all of that stuff.
You know, like when it
The
first came
wind
out,
is
and I played it,
blowing, and I'm
I
like,
couldn't get with it because like I just couldn't like connect with like the Asian, Japanese, or whatever it was.
you
was
told
something
me
about
you
it.
don't like Asian people.
Wow. Cancel that guy.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. Go ahead. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
so it was hard for me to like connect with
Explain
it, right?
yourself.
So I went back and played it, like Alex said, with the director's cut, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Hey,
really nice stuff.
I didn't get far enough to know if they eat baby food in the game, but they do use the Sunblock 5000? Sunblock 5000?
Oh, yeah.
That was a whole
Sure,
thing.
blue.
A motor mystery talking about the clues. There was clues where you have to discover, and you see the blue paint, and I forget about it at the time, and I'm like, oh, this fool, the clue is, yeah, this fool is somebody who's been doing a commercial for the sunblock, and then you track that down, you track out where he is, and you see him all in blue, the killer, and he's just like, yo, that was a great reference to the callback. And they do deal with nuke, so the nuke drug is in there from part 2, that wasn't in part 1.
Yeah.
It does a lot of, if you just watch the movies and play that game, like I literally got through the mission where it looked very much like where Alex Murphy got killed at. And so
Yeah, someone sent me a video of that, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And so you're going through it and you reliving that moment and your visor's getting, you're tweaking and you're like, yo, this is pretty fucking dope. I can't wait to play it after this. Let's hurry up and get out of here now.
Yeah, I need to go soon since I'm nearly free.
Yeah, let's get out of here. So I think these are the last ones. We are very high on this piece between me and Diane. We're Diane already locked in. I'm gonna see if I can make it happen by moving some stuff.
Sell some stuff, man.
Yeah, and it's only for me to justify it. I can get it.
No, it's not coming out now, so you can pre-order it now and sell your wares.
I mean, you got
by the
like
time
a
it comes
year and a
out.
half.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So let me know. But like, this is so. Look at the eyes, the skin. We all like
The
this.
hair.
Right? We'll move.
Detailing the sword.
This I really want some more.
Look at the rest to hold up the sword. It looks so authentic.
Yeah,
There's no space for the other characters. Now what?
No, so.
Where are you gonna put Tifa now? You gonna put her on a different shelf?
I'm gonna tell you why, Cypher. I was in, like I was literally in. I was in. But then it's sort of like, the price hits, and you're just sort of like,
That's a vacation.
okay, I still like it. I still like
vacation.
it, but I don't know. But then I'm trying to justify it, and then what happened? What I came to the conclusion is that I don't buy stuff to put in in storage or put it away. That's just me. So like I'm gonna have to, if I'm gonna commit, I want to see how real I am about committing. If I could sell some of the stuff where I would display this at, I would get it. And I'm not in no rush because I got somebody who could get it for me without the rush of the pre-order. Okay. Shout out to Marcos. Sounds like, dude.
Shout out to Marcos, CollectorZown.
So I could do that without rushing. And then me, I don't live for the FOMO. I don't react well to FOMO, right? So usually I shut down with FOMO. I'll be like, let it go. But other people, I know that's the opposite. But I really do want it. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. I hate that it's so expensive.
Same.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
He says, I'm selling my video game pieces that will be replaced. Yeah, that's what I think I'm doing. I'm not touching my Transformers. Transformers not going
anywhere. They never going anywhere.
Yeah, they never going nowhere.
Whack.
You get some good money for those ones.
I know, right? But yeah, let's go. Beetlejuice is announced as just a title, but hey, all you Beetlejuice fans, there it is. And then more head. We put which Holly. Hey, this is This is a variant re-release. This shit looks doper than the original. If you like a
I like
classic,
this. I like this better than the other one.
yo, I know it's a re-release. That sucks, but yo, if somebody don't have a Harley, this is the Harley. Like if animated series, that's it right there. And
I've always liked this suit better.
Right, this looks better than the first one to me, and she's voluptuous as all hell, dude. She is mad voluptuous.
She's talking to you.
Front. We'll talk more about that.
Hey, Mr. Crippler.
We got the stuff that we'll skate through. We'll talk more in detail because there's a lot of the stuff I want to hit. But yeah, we are about to get out of here. But before we go, one question for Alex, and we do this for all of our guests.
Oh no,
we need to know.
Oh yes,
don't do it.
They can.
Can't wait.
Yes,
we need to know.
Can't
yes,
wait.
they can.
If you had to snap out one thing from this image that's about to pop up in your pupils, which one would it be? And in your collection, if you have any representation of it, it goes away. And if I have any representation, it goes away. So you snapping out of existence one of these two things. Let me know what it's going to be.
You prick.
Let me get this picture.
I think I know, but I'm not gonna say it.
every character from that kind of line.
That universe goes away. Whatever was part of.
Bye.
If it like it doesn't exist anymore. So Silver Surfer and everything revolving around it goes away. Spider-Man, everything around it goes away.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get rid of Silver Surfer. Unfortunately.
Whoa! I didn't expect that, but I appreciate you. Snap out! Get out of here, Silver. Yo, Todd, you see this? He snapped out your board.
I have about 4 Silver Surfer, maybe more actually, maybe 5 Silver Surfer pieces, but I don't really have a lot of the other world, like universe of him. But I've got a lot of Spider-Man pieces.
I know you're a Spider-Man fan. It was hard to choose for you because you hold a lot of characters to your heart. Like you just now, like Wolverine. I know you're a huge Wolverine fan. So,
yeah. But then if you were going to say like, oh yeah, now we get rid of all the X-Men, it's a tough one as well, isn't it? So yeah, I would have to be, unfortunately, Silver Surfer going on my collection.
I'm happy with that pick because
one of my favorite pieces as well. Sort of sideshow wise is the sideshow.
People are like, yo,
they're like, what
the fuck? It's like, yo,
people are surprised.
You better change your damn name. Yeah, because from Rad is from Silver Surfer.
RaddTitan, yeah. But
Spider Titan.
I'm going by my collection. I mean, again. Yeah, Spider Titan.
Rad Spider.
Or we could do like it'll be Parker Titan. Parker Titan.
Yo,
Parker Titan.
Thank you for being so honest. And once again, we winding out. Yo, Alex, I know this was a huge commitment because of the time, but dude, I appreciate you so much for making this work. And it was a fun conversation.
I'm going to be woken up in about 3 hours. I'm going to have a baby chucked at me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you look
it's your turn.
Send you a coffee or something for the morning. But yeah, whatever you want to leave the people with, go ahead.
No, I appreciate everyone watching. I appreciate all the support. I mean, we've had 2024 was a huge year. We had big numbers. A lot of sort of projects we were involved in. We had a massive competition at the beginning. And it's just great to be part of the community and actually, after 10 years, still be someone that people watch. And it's great. Yeah, it's great to be part of it. I'm not going to say anything negative because there's a lot of negative about the 10 years, but anyway.
Hey, but you weathered it all. I appreciate
you for coming on news.
Oh man, it's an honor. It's fun. So, and yeah, like I said, if you guys, before you guys all get out of here, we are having a giveaway at 500. So if you like this conversation, we have more planned for 2025. If you hate it, hit that dislike button and don't subscribe. But if you enjoyed the conversation, subscribe, like. We're gonna have more in 2025 that we excited to bring to you guys. So yeah.
Also, if you're watching from the RaddTitan side, make sure you go over to Constructive Outrage and join up over there as well.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate all of the RaddTitan people who was watching us tonight as well. Yo, yo, yo. Shout out to GL next time. One day we're going to get you on here. But yeah, Critical Mass, what do you want to leave the fine people with today?
I just want to say thanks for coming on, Alex. It was nice. Nice having you on the show. We've been Facebook friends for a while, but it's actually nice to actually interact with you.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Face screen to screen.
That's what's up.
Hey, shout out to the chat. Thank you for joining us. Shout out to the chat. What you got, Diane?
Diane.
I just want to say thanks for having me, Crip. Nice to meet you, Alex. And no, I'm just happy to be here, man. Everybody have a good night.
Diane, every time I have you on, dude, it's such a great conversation. You always add to it. We're very similar in the ways, but we differ. Well, you think I'm bullshitting? I'm like serious. I'm serious.
Nah, I appreciate it, man. You touched my heart, man.
Touch your heart. No, but I appreciate you coming on, especially when it's last minute like this. It's just like, yo, that's awesome. Yeah. AK, what you got for the people?
Just thanks to Alex for coming on. I know it's a bitch of a time right now. Time difference. Tomorrow I'll be on Collectors Assemble Live, where we're gonna
shout out to Collectors Assemble.
People from the company Galaxius. And we're gonna talk about not just the Magneto, but the new Iron Man pieces as well.
Jarhead got his company up and ground, Galacticus?
Galaxius.
Oh, Galaxius. Yo, Edwin, that's big, dude. Dion, you're his favorite Rashid standing. There you go. And talking about Rashid and Shane, shout out to Rashid, shout out to Shane. They'll be back hopefully next week. I know Rashid will be back next week. Shane will be back as soon as available. He's got some dope stuff that he's doing with, and I don't want that distracted at all. Take as much time as you need, my brother. He'll be back when he be back. And yeah, if you guys want to get that freaking Final Fantasy, y'all need to ask yourself one thing.
What the what? What a money reside? What a money reside?